Never fear. I saw the bat signal go out. I was out taking a walk when I was drinking my coffee, and I went to YouTube, and Amit wasn't there. Then I went to X, and I saw a lot of people asking where he was and if I could fill in. So I turned around, and I am here now. What is going on, everybody? This is, I guess, the bootleg market open. Before we get started, read the disclaimer. I'm half awake. Not really, but read the disclaimer. I am not an investment advisor. I have no idea what your situation is. Please do your own due diligence. And with that being said, let's get started, see what's happening in the market, and if we can make some money. All right. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're caffeinated. Hopefully you're ready to go. I'm getting everything set up on my end. I legitimately just got on the computer. So give me a moment. Getting everything set up. All right. Brent falling. That's a surprise considering what's going on. Al Jazeera correspondent said second Israeli airstrike on the vicinity of Bas refugee camp in Palestine. I mean, I'm happy oil's down. I'm hoping that Amit doesn't need bail money. How about that? I am hoping he does not need bail money. Do not know where he is. Oil is down. Brent 90.93. Crude WTI in the 80s. Everybody's saying, not everybody, a lot of people saying, Steve, oil's not going under 90. It just did, and we don't even have a deal. It just did. 87.59. I'm telling everybody, from an economic standpoint, if we get a real deal, he better not have the hantavirus. I'm not getting in a room with him on Thursday if that's true, to shoot. Anyway, if the strait opens up and we actually get real tanker flow through there, you watch oil come under 80. And I've been saying between Memorial Day and July 4th is critical. It's absolutely critical. June, you know what? For all of you, maybe I'll wear a mask. Maybe. Okay. Yes, I am. Let's I don't know what's going on, but I have seen it's not, for me, it's not Roaring Kitty videos. It's videos from the GameStop movie that's coming on my YouTube feed, and I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Does not look like any sense. Amit ran away with Carrie's awesome. I listen, I wouldn't be mad at him if he did. Carrie's awesome. She's a sweetheart. And she's a big golfer also. Man, crude. I'm so happy about that. Everybody's so happy about that. All right, let's see where the indices are. We are green across the board. You know, I didn't know that I was doing the market open either until I got the bat signal. I had no idea, everybody. But you know what? New York didn't burn. It was a little crazy last night from what I saw on Instagram. Nixon 5. Amit was not out there, so we don't know. Anyway, the S&P, we're trying to crack 7,500 on the S&P. The Dow Jones, 51,253. The NASDAQ, 29,747. It's looking good. Let's get into individual companies. That's what all you came for. Who's the guy in the hat? Listen, I was out taking a walk. What do you want? I was out taking a walk. Technology up again today. The only thing down is energy. Let's go. SanDisk ripping. Oh my God, Reddit. Jesus Christ. All right. We got SanDisk up 1777. It's up 135. We got Nebius, the Nebius crew coming back. 234.98. Reddit up 6.78%. It looks like my thesis is playing out. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with my cover calls now that I just rolled for this week for 172.50, but that's a problem for Thursday and Friday, not today. Oracle. We got Oracle earnings today. No, I'm getting my days mixed up. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow we got Oracle earnings. I think Oracle is going to surprise people. The caffeine's not kicking in. It's just, trying to get everybody excited here. Trying to get everybody excited. SoFi breaking 17, everybody. SoFi breaking 17. Let's go. Micron, 977. Rocket Lab is trying to get past 120. We're trying. We're running. He said he's sick and going to the doctor. That is what we call no bueno. If he is sick and if he does not feel good, I will run Technical Tuesday with Jason. I will reach out to him. Actually, you know what? I may not be back in time for Technical Tuesday. I have to bring my car in at 1 o'clock. I can probably get back. Let me see what happens. Anyway. Robinhood, 87. SMH, 609. Google, 369. Meta, 595. We're trying, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get back to 600. We're trying. Snowflake, 244. Amazon, still under 250. It may be a little bit late for Technical Tuesday, but I had to make a service appointment. The appointment's at 1 something. I can't see myself being back later than 4:30. I can't see it. It's probably going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let me see what I can do. Maybe I'll just take an Uber back and leave the car there. We'll see. You know what? That's an idea for all of you. If I can pull it out, if Amit's not going to be here, I'll get an Uber back and I'll just go back and get the car later tonight probably. We'll figure it out. Broadcom, over 400 again. Over 400. Tesla, 411.93. Zeta, 21.89. ARM, 348.40. CoreWeave, 102.90. IBM, 282. NVIDIA, 209.59. Realty Income, 60.25. The losers, Palantir, Microsoft, AMD, they're basically flat. Salesforce trying to hold 180. Cisco, 123. Chevron, 187. Verizon dumping. We got ServiceNow, 111.78. Could not hold the 130s, could not hold the 120s. We'll see what happens. Qualcomm, 213. Next Decade, 826. Fortinet, 139.49. And Venture Global, $12.45. It's a good day. Not everything is up. Marvell's sliding a little bit, but we're having a good day so far, everybody. I'm not hating this. We got memory running. Where's NVIDIA on this list? NVIDIA. Up 75 cents. Pretty crazy. Should be up more. Should be up more. Well, I'm excited. I'm happy. I think that this is good. I do not think that we are in a situation where we're going to go into a recession by any means, let alone a bear market. I'm not seeing this on the radar, especially with oil coming down. I think that that's what we need to remember. Oil is coming down and chips are leading the bounce. We had big event tomorrow. Should say had. We got big event tomorrow. We're going to see where May CPI is, okay? I think the setup's going to be hot and not in a good way. April CPI was 3.8%, highest in nearly 3 years. Energy's up around 18%. Gas is up roughly 28% from the Iran conflict. The expectations for the headline is 0.5% month over month increase, and the consensus is 4.2% year over year. Core is expected to be a little bit tamer, 0.3% month over month, and they're expecting 2.8% year over year. I don't think that this print matters at all. I do not believe the print matters at all. I think that we're in a situation where, you know what? We are going to see this print and the next print be high. If I'm going to bring up a chart of crude real quick. So let's really game this out from an input standpoint. So when we look at the year to date, there's no way we're not going to have high CPI. There just isn't. In May, we started the month over 100. We got down to 95. We got back up to around 108. We spent a good amount of time above 95 and a good amount of time above 90, not much time above or below 90 in May. We look at April. I mean, it's the same thing. I think that we're going to see this print be hot and the next print be hot. Now, if we can get a damn deal done, that would be incredible, because if we get a deal done, we'll likely see oil come under 80 and stay there and retrace towards 70. We have not seen oil under 80, okay, since March. It's very important. 80 is the critical level, everybody. 80 is the critical level. If we get, all right, real quick, I know some of you watch a lot of the streams. I am not shorting Rocket Lab in real life. I do not short companies in real life. It is bad mojo, okay? What I said was, for the stock draft, because we are adding a new component of going short in the stock draft, I was considering Rocket Lab as a short play because I don't think anybody else will do it. Chels, what's going on? I started the live about 10 minutes ago. I got the bat signal that Amit was out of commission. If I had known, if I was paying attention, I would have actually set the stream up for 8:45. But you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I am here with all of you to keep you company, walk through the markets. Crude oil. Back on that thought. I am very bullish for the second half of this year. Okay. I'm very bullish. I'm so bullish, I'm going to turn the hat around. Just like Sylvester Stallone. Okay. In Over the Top, we're turning the hat around. I'm bullish second half of the year because I do believe we're going to get a deal. I do believe oil is going to come under 80. And I do believe that CPI will come down toward the end of the summer. This is going to be a hot print, 4.4%, 4.6, probably that area. Maybe next month's print's going to be hot also. But if we can get oil under 80 here and it starts to reverberate through the economy, input prices will come down, transportation will come down, fertilizer will come down. Keep in mind, we were just in prime season for fertilizer. Fertilizer prices were up. We need this to come down for so many different things. Oil is the lifeblood of the global economy, and we need it to come down. Now, under 80, everybody makes money and margins start to improve. We get under 70, that's the sweet spot. Under 60 is not really realistic as much as Trump wants at 55. 60 to 70 is that sweet spot, in my opinion. That's golden. Manufacturing does well, industrials do well, upstream producers do well. Companies like Chevron have a break even price of around 50, I think just under 50. So that is really the sweet spot, 60 to 70. Everybody just does well. And we'll start seeing, don't start with those. Come on. Too early in the morning for those. I haven't even had my first cup of coffee. Trying to get through it. All right. Trying to get through it. But when oil comes down, the input prices go down. And I think it'll take 2 or 3 months for CPI to come down. But the biggest thing, and we're going to see it come June 17th, Kevin Warsh's first FOMC meeting is on the 17th. And I do believe that we're going to see a much different Fed chair. And I can't wait to see what he says. I cannot wait to see how he handles himself and the temperament. I don't believe we're seeing nearly as many Fed speeches as we used to. I think he's going to have a tight clamp on it. And I think it's going to be very good. So when you think about new Fed chair, let's really read into what he says in 2 weeks. If oil comes down, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's gone too long and we're not going to get a cut in September. But they could come out of Jackson Hole saying the economy is actually doing pretty good. Inflation is coming down. It is time to lower rates. And I know there's two schools of thought. I know there are. But I am of a supply side school of thought. I've studied economics. I have an undergrad in it. I have an MBA. I am from a supply side. I do not believe that more jobs necessarily means higher inflation. In fact, I wrote a whole article about this, outlining why the Phillips curve is bullshit. Look, the Phillips curve was created back when the economy was different. 70%, you can go check it. 70% of the economy is services. Just because you add jobs does not mean that you're going to get product inflation. That's not how it works. So I'm really not worried about it. Oil is the main driver of inflation. Okay. It is the main driver. If we get oil down, we could get rate cuts. If we get rate cuts, they're very important to the economy because you know what? We need to make sure that the job market stays robust. We need to make sure the job market stays robust. It's more important. And the carrying cost on debt is too expensive. For average Americans, it's too expensive for the national debt. And the only way to solve that is lowering rates at this point. There is no reason why carrying interest on credit cards should be 25%. There's just no reason. No reason. And lowering rates is not going to make inflation go up. And if anything, it will unlock the housing market. And we've been waiting years for that. There is a good reason to lower to lower rates, and it has nothing to do with pumping stocks. It has everything to do with we don't know what's going to happen with AI in the future. And the way corporate debt works, it rolls on 5 and 10-year tranches. And what happened 5 years ago with rates? They were next to nothing. If we go to the 10-year, and we look at where rates were, you can't have the 10-year at 1.17 and have businesses taking out debt at, say, 3 to 4% or 5%, and then having a refi at 8 or 9%. It is business 101. Okay. Business 101. Thank you so much. I never ask. Thank you so much. It does actually help me out a lot if you like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Now, when you get to a point where corporations, small business, medium business, large scale businesses have to refinance debt and their debt servicing increases 5%, that's a problem. And usually that comes with job cuts. The number one thing that you want is unemployment to stay low, because the number one trigger of a recession, is unemployment going high. It has nothing to do with the 2 and 10 inverting. That is a coincidence. It has been proven the last time it happened that we did not go into a recession. Unemployment going up 1% or more is the end all be all for going into a recession. And we should want, above anything else, a job market that has more jobs than needed, because we want to make sure that everybody has a good paying job. We want businesses to thrive. We want businesses to be able to tap the capital markets and the debt markets in order to expand. We want entrepreneurs to be able to start businesses. We do not want a restrictive economy. It has nothing to do with stocks. Stocks is a secondary thing. This is more about what is best for American society. And what's best for American society is making sure that all parts of it are working. So, listen, that's the stance on it. That is the stance on it. I went through the inflation thing at length the other day. I don't necessarily want to go through it, but maybe I will do a dedicated video on it for those of you, and you guys can put in the comments why I'm missing the mark on it, and we can have a conversation. All right. Market is fluttering around. Let's go back to the market check. Let's see what's happening. All right. SanDisk still doing well, up 142. Reddit 181.33. Nebius 230. Hood 87.80. SoFi 17. Micron 970. Meta. Come on, Meta. Let's do this. We need to get over 600, Meta. I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what the market is doing. This is one of the most mispriced corporations there is. Google 370. Oracle 215. Amazon still being disrespected. This makes no sense to me. 248.55. Realty Income 60.78, ladies and gentlemen. I have a theory. Just like a great man had a dream, I have a theory. Maybe I'll make a series. I have a theory series. My theory is that in the back half of this year or next year, the market is going to reward companies with hard assets that generate large amounts of cash flow. I think that is going to happen. Realty Income is one of my favorite REITs. If I had to think about my favorite REITs, Realty Income, Starwood, and Simon Property Group. Those are my favorite REITs. Realty Income, if I showed you that, I know a lot of you probably are not into dividends, but you look at the cash flow that this throws off, it's incredible. 3 decades of increasing dividends. They pay monthly, quarterly increases for 115 consecutive quarters or something like that. Why is my phone blowing up? You can get a call back, blah, blah, blah. All right, Micron, 956. It's coming down a bit. SMH is still holding 600. The Q's 718. Tesla 409. Microsoft 411 disrespected. Dirty Rascals disrespecting Microsoft. IBM hanging out at 280 still. Take Two, man. GTA 6, I can't wait. I'm ready. GTA 6, let's go. Something just happened. These companies just flipped green at the bottom. AMD 490, IBM 280, CoreWeave 102, Broadcom under 400 again, 395.79, Enbridge 55, Mo hanging out above 70, Nvidia 207.13, Verizon trying to stay above 45, Zeta 2157, Snowflake 238, everybody, 238. Energy Transfer 1914. Salesforce is looking like it's going under 180. That's crazy talk. Palantir 134. ARM 339. ServiceNow just broke 110. Qualcomm 208. Marvell falling 276, everybody. Whoa. All right, we're getting a little reversal. Let's see what the indices are doing. We still got, tech is giving it back, everybody. Tech's about to flip red. Tech is giving it back. We go to the indexes. The NASDAQ, 25,973. The S&P, 7430. The Dow Jones, 51,000. Pretty good. Giving a little back. Pretty good. It's my own platform. I mean, maybe I'm just making it look like I quit my job to do this. I may have quit my job to play GTA. We'll see what happens. I can't wait. It's going to be pretty bad. GTA, oh my God. It's going to be silly. Now, I do want to show everybody something that I built if you're interested, but I'm going to have to get it queued up. I want to go to one thing real quick. Give me a sec. We had Joe Lonsdale on. I did not get to watch it. And we have something about Siri. I thought that the Apple WWDC was not good yesterday. Okay. I was not happy about it. And I thought that Siri left some stuff to be desired when you think about where Android is with their personal assistant. So I want to see what the analysts are saying. And let's go to that. I'm probably going to do a big rant about that. So give me a sec. I have not seen this. We're watching it for the first time together, everybody.
Developers Conference to roll out a long-awaited overhaul of Siri. The tech giant also unveiling the next generation of its Apple Intelligence technology, but the stock was down about 2% at the end of the day. Joining us right now is Samik Chatterjee. He is JP Morgan's senior analyst. Samik, let's talk a little bit about what you saw yesterday and whether this revamp of Siri is what you had been hoping for.
Yep. No, thank you. Thanks for having me, Becky. Thank you. I think firstly, it is in line with what was promised as an overhaul of Siri. And to your earlier comment, is it a game changer? We do think it's a game changer for the long term. I mean, you won't see volume suddenly go up because of this release, but I think there are three things to keep in mind. One, it is a benefit when it comes to the medium term in being able to match what other premium flagship devices are offering in terms of features and capabilities at this point. Secondly, you're able to, on top of those models, offer capabilities or features that are differentiated because they integrate with a lot of applications, native apps that you use already on an Apple device, which has always been Apple's strength. In consumers using a lot of their apps, now they integrate with the LLM models that are being offered on that in this overhaul. And then thirdly, as a reminder to investors, they're doing this without really a big spending in terms of capital spending that the other hyperscalers are doing or hyperscalers are doing, which Apple doesn't have to do at this point. So I think those are three key things to keep in mind why this is important for the long term.
Does this, you think, will Siri replace what we see with ChatGPT or with any of the other large language models that are out there? Or does this kind of work in conjunction? It's just like a smart, small language model to match up and help organize you better on everything you have stored across your Apple devices.
I mean, we envision it playing out pretty much the way an average consumer is using these services today, right? Everybody is probably using 2 or 3 services at the same time, going and doing the same set of questions and queries on every one of them and picking the best response. So I think what will eventually happen is Siri will become one of your tools to use with the underlying partnership that they have with Gemini. And then you'll have your other services that are more cloud-based. Now, the differentiation here for Siri is there'll be a lot of personal context that it has on you through your device. So in some of the examples that Apple showed yesterday, those are really what drives the differentiation is you can manage your calendar, you can manage your contacts, you can do a lot of email editing, etc. So those are all things that come easily with the integration with the native apps. Now, when you look at it in terms of third-party apps, there'll be certain things that they are good at, but you want to really have the integration with the native apps and the personal context that you share beyond what you share in that prompt itself.
Yeah, I like how you describe it. Basically, just working within the ecosphere and maybe making it stickier. The iPhone making all of everything you have with Apple a little stickier. You already have your photos there. You've got your music there. This kind of ties it in on one more level.
When you think about it, I mean, one, you have the right to sell premium phones at a very high margin, offering the same feature set that is at par with other premium flagships continues to give you that right. But then when you're in the Apple ecosystem, the stickiness, which has always been Apple's differentiation, continues to build on itself. I mean, there are other changes that or the other offerings that Apple introduced yesterday, including some of the child safety aspects in terms of families using the phones more and more. You can see that you'll now increase the number of devices per household, and the entry-level phones as well will, as the early consumer comes in, will be probably an iPhone to go with that, right? So that also has long-term market share implications here.
My question for you, if I could, is really actually about one of the comments that I noted yesterday around Apple saying that the models they're using from Google are different than Google's sort of classic Gemini model or something else. Do you think it means that that is a better model they're using, just fundamentally different model they're using, a lesser model? How do you compare what's going on, for example, on an Android phone right now and what is going on now on a new Apple phone with this technology?
So I think overall, the data sets that are used to train these models are eventually going to be proprietary. And so what Apple is probably offering you is an insight that there are individual proprietary data sets that they're using to train these models and then make them available to the consumer. So it's not a lift and shift of the entire same model itself. Now, that said, if you take a step back and say, will the consumer probably notice a big difference initially? Probably not, right? To the average consumer, what you're offering at this point in terms of features are probably going to look very similar with maybe very minor nuances to them. So I don't think even in the early stages, you're going to see a material difference to the consumer experience on it beyond, as we've talked about, the integration with the native apps, which makes things a lot more seamless and the personal context. Now, eventually, as you continue to sort of enhance those data sets and train these models, and you start to diverge more from where the standard, like off-the-shelf Google Gemini models are, you start to see probably a bigger differentiation, but I wouldn't expect that in the first couple of generations at least.
Samik, thank you very much. I should point out the stock's at $301. You've got a $325 price target and an overweight rating. That stands after what you saw yesterday?
Yeah, we like the setup here. I mean, this year is back.
I don't like the setup here, and I'm an Apple shareholder. I'll say it. I think that this was a not what I wanted to see at WWDC, everybody. I mean, look, Siri AI, it is a big improvement from what they previously had, but they just basically brought in what Android's been doing on Gemini. There was nothing that was eye-dropping. There was nothing that really said, oh my God. U.S. officials, this is the new news from Cactus Jack. U.S. officials are investigating whether Iranian fire brought down the U.S. Army AH-64 Apache near the Strait of Hormuz, according to 2 American officials and a third source with knowledge of the matter cited by Axios. U.S. Central Command spokesperson Navy Captain Tim Hawkins confirmed the use of a Navy unarmed surface vessel in the rescue effort with the involvement of Task Force 59, the Navy's primary drone force in West Asia. I don't know that this is stopping. I do not know that this is. What do you mean you can't hear me? Are you serious? Why can't you hear me? My mic's on. Can you hear me now? Yes, no. Can you hear me now? Why are people? Okay. You guys can hear me. So, look, every time it looks like we're going to get something happening with a deal, some little thing happens or some big thing happens. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't know who the hell they're negotiating with. I mean, let's be honest. Who are they negotiating with? I don't know. I have no idea who they're negotiating with. I've said from day one that I do not believe, after taking out several levels, that whoever is in charge has control over the region. How many different groups are there? It's a lot. I don't know. We got to hope and pray that this gets solved, I think, this week, because Trump's going to have a lot of pressure on him. He's already blowing up at BB. And look, there's 92 million people there. There's 92 million people in Iran. That's a lot of innocent women and children. I do not want utility companies being bombed. I do not want more infrastructure being bombed. That is the last thing that I want to say. I mean, this has gone on long enough. This needs to end. I don't know how it's going to end, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm certainly not happy about this. It is not what we want to see. But Siri AI is on iOS 27. Okay. Gemini has been an Android feature for quite some time. And from a conversational follow-up, from what I remember about the conference, we're getting a new dedicated Siri app, synchronized history, and all the great stuff. But you have that on Android. And it's been working. You had screen sharing in Gemini Live. You have Gemini Live camera, point at anything, workspace data across Gmail, Docs, Calendar, connected apps, scheduled actions, background agents. You had all this. There's nothing that I saw, unless it's something that I missed, which definitely could be. I'm not getting political. Okay? I'm being a realist that I don't want 92 million people to be without power and infrastructure. That's not a political statement. That's just a humanity thing. Anyway, from everything that Siri AI does, it's a big improvement, but I don't think it's this big jaw-dropping moment like, oh my God, Siri just one-upped Android. Let's not forget, this is being built off of what Android uses. It's being built off of Gemini. So I don't know. I think this is just going to keep Apple enthusiasts happy so they don't switch at this point. I don't know. This wasn't anything that made me go, oh my God, Apple's going to 400. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. This was not the jaw-dropping moment I hoped it was, but you know what? It was probably what was needed. It was probably enough to get the job done. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes Sometimes you just need a single to win the ball game. You don't need a home run. You just need a single. You just need to get on base. Maybe that's the way we need to look at Apple, that you know what? They're getting on base with this. And getting on base is the equivalent of people not leaving the Apple ecosystem. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's good enough. All right. I will keep everybody up to the news with Captain Jack. He is now saying natural gas will be the biggest new source to power AI. U.S. Energy Secretary Wright. No shit. Have I not been saying this? This isn't new. And I'll bring up the EIA report. I have it saved on my drive. Or you know what? I'll go to the website because I don't know where exactly I saved it on my drive. Hold on. If you want something that's very interesting to skim through, the annual energy outlook just came out in April. The next release is next year. They do this once a year. And if we look at natural gas, U.S. dry natural gas production is only expected to increase. And onshore natural gas production is only expected to increase. With natural gas demand increasing both at home and abroad, we project dry U.S. natural gas production rises significantly, increasing from 107 billion cubic feet per day in 2025 to between 133 BCF and 151 BCF by 2050 in most of our cases. That's huge. This is an independent. Oh, hold on a second. I read that wrong. I think you said you had Agos. Agos are amazing. Anyway, U.S. dry natural gas production, that means several things. It means upstream producers are going to be, one, producing more, two, midstream infrastructure companies such as Energy Transfer, Enterprise Partners, OneOK, Kinder Morgan will be transporting more and storing more. That's huge. Then exporting to the rest of the globe. And you know what happens for all of you that are in Venture Global and Next Decade and Cheniere? LNG exports grow substantially in nearly all of the EIA's cases, okay? Our projections for U.S. LNG exports grow significantly through the 2040s, exceeding 30 BCF a day by 2050. We're at 14.9 in 2025. That's a double over the next 24 years. A double. To me, this is exciting because at some point, look, AI companies, there are some that are trading below where they should. There's no question about it. Microsoft, Meta, et cetera, et cetera. But there's also a lot of companies that are catching a huge bid. CoreWeave, Nebius, they're catching a huge bid. What's not catching a bid? Energy infrastructure, hard assets, throwing off income. I do believe that these companies are going to catch a bid at some point over the next couple of years because their infrastructure is going to become that much more important. Think about the craziness that would happen if you couldn't use your phone or if you couldn't turn the lights on. People overlook that. This is a huge industry and it's only going to get bigger. Chels, you're not going to be happy about this, but I am going to get the steps in later. I was out taking a walk. I was looking for Amit on my phone, and he wasn't there, so I cut the walk short, Chels. I will get my steps in, though. Day 4 of getting over 10,000 is going to happen. I think I sit down and lay down too much, and that's why my neck started bothering me. So we're going to make it a point to walk. Anyway. I'm not in Amcor. I don't really research it, so I don't know. Did I see the Knicks get dogged last night? Yes, I did. Did I speak to Sleepy Tanner regarding the markets? I talked to him yesterday, not today. Oh, thank you so much. Listen, Carrie was awesome. I thought it was incredible. She was super cool, very knowledgeable. Loved seeing her perspective. It was really good. That's not true, PB. There was a lot of USA chants from what I saw. There was also a lot of booing at times, but there was a ton of USA chants. Thank you very much for the super. Really appreciate it. Listen, I want him to go back to DC. I don't like when he's in the city. It makes the city crazy. I hate it. June, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. CEG, I will look into. Thank you, Charles. Really appreciate it. I will look more into CEG at some point. Laura, thank you. Yeah, she was great. She was really good. Huge amount of knowledge. And the fact that she worked directly for Peter Lynch, you're not going to find that every day. You're just not going to find that every day. All right. What do I think of Schwab leaving New York? I have not seen this news. Let me verify this. Hold on. Charles Schwab to leave New York. Is this true? Ten major companies flee New York in 2026 amid tax regulation exodus to Florida and Texas. All right, which companies? Elliott Management, Alliance Bernstein, Citadel, we knew. Goldman, we knew, is opening a big campus in Dallas. JP Morgan Chase, they're not leaving, but they are opening around other places. Charles Schwab, the brokerage giant, has cited among firms whose departures or expansions elsewhere have contributed to New York losing thousands of high-paying jobs and associated tax revenue. Apollo Global Management, Wells announced it's moving its wealth and investment division. Starwood Capital, Stern, yeah, that's not a surprise. Sternlich is Miami guy now. Thank you so much, Mamba. Thank you. I try very hard to troll Tanner. I try very hard to prod him a little bit. It's becoming one of the highlights of the week. Getting Tanner all riled up. See how far I can twist it before he explodes. Tomorrow, when we do our Wednesday night stocks, I will try to get him going again. That is Sergeant Sleepy time we are talking about, if you're not aware. I will try to get him riled up tomorrow. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Got to come up with more Canada jokes. I'll think about it. It is so much fun because he's so explosive. I'm telling you, I'm with you. I'm with you. In all seriousness, he's probably not awake yet. He's probably still in a coma. For the meetup that he is doing, okay, I am thinking about getting t-shirts made for everybody with a picture of him sleeping saying he sleeps or something like that. So we'll see what happens. I am going to troll the shit out of him at his meetup. We're probably going to get t-shirts made. Anyway, let me answer this question. And this is going to be like a 2-minute answer. I'm going to go on a rant. Okay. I'm going to go. Yes. So I'm beneficial. We're going to do something here, maybe on the sleeve, do like a sleep score. We'll figure it out. It's going to be funny. I'm going to call Tevis at some point. I'm going to call Amit. We'll get something going. It'll be hilarious. All right. Here's the rant about New York. I love this state. I am a New Yorker, born and raised here. I hate what they are doing to my state. I hate it. I should run for mayor, but I'm not going to because I don't want to. But I should run for mayor. Not that I would win, but I would fix this bullshit. Not mayor. I'm sorry, governor. I should run for governor. Look, I don't give a shit about Republicans. I don't give a shit about Democrats. Okay? I'm not a political person. I'm an independent. I'm not going to get political with this. But Capital goes where it is treated the best. Everybody knows this. It's a law of business. It's a law of business. It's a law in investing. And you know what? It's 2026. Everybody's got one of these. What did the pandemic show us? The pandemic showed us that people could work from home and work from parking lots and work from the golf course and get their shit done in a lot of cases. You can't tax the shit out of corporations and individuals and expect there not to be repercussions. You just can't. At some point, they're going to make a business decision. And that's what we're seeing play out. This is not one company or two companies. And California is a perfect example. Tesla left, Palantir left, Oracle left, HP left. There's other companies that left that are escaping my mind. You had Mark Wahlberg leave. You had a lot of other people leave. Rogan left and set up shop down in Austin with all the comedy clubs. Yeah, a lot of people leave. When people leave, that's tax revenue. That is also capital that gets spent in the economy. And this is why I got so pissed off at AOC. When Amazon was going to come to Long Island City, I was ecstatic. It was 10,000 high-paying jobs coming that never came. And you know what happens when you set up a place with 10,000 jobs? You need more restaurants. You need more infrastructure. You need more electricians. You need more everything. There is more capital being spent. That capital is going to go somewhere. And if it doesn't go to New York, it's going to go somewhere else. I want all the capital in New York. I'm greedy. I want all capital coming to New York, not leaving New York. Sorry, but I'm a New Yorker. I want this to be the greatest economy in the country, not other states. Not that I don't want other states to do well. I want New York to do the best, and it's not. So I think that this is reasonable that these companies are leaving. They're making a business decision. And you know what? They don't have to stay. Nobody has to stay. People are going to vote with their wallets when they feel that they are being treated unfairly. It's just what's going to happen. So just saying, we'll see what happens. I did a whole rant on this on X. You can go look at it. Bill Ackman actually quote tweeted me on this. And, you know, there is one other thing that they were looking at where the, what was it? They were looking at the estate tax being lowered, or it was the estate tax being lowered to $750,000 from $7 million. And you know what? It's crazy to even think that in a lot of areas in New York, 750 is the median house. So there's just a lot of things I don't like going on, not necessarily politically, but financially. And when you make it this hard for businesses to operate, you get a very serious repercussion. So that's all there is. JTB John, thank you so much. Don't Wake Daddy board game theme. Don't wake Tanner with his face imposed on a board game cover and a sleep score on the sleeve. I like that. We'll take that under consideration. I like it. That's pretty damn good. Listen, it's very hard for me to get out of New York. I love New York. There's so many. I understand why people don't leave California. After going there, I do understand it. It's at least where we were. It was beautiful. It was definitely a vibe. Okay. I didn't see Ray and Michelle in here. They came on that little journey to Venice Beach. It was a damn vibe. All right, let's see what's going on in the market. We are losing a lot of steam here, ladies and gentlemen. We are losing a lot of steam. All right. We're going to get through this really quick. We have new news. All right. The Dow flipped red. The S&P holding above 7,400. The NASDAQ Sorry, I already said that. The Dow Jones creeping, trying to creep below 51. Not what we want to see in this environment. It's up 227 still, but we do not want to see it crack 51. Now, that being said, let's go to individuals. Let's see where we are. Tech is now officially red. Tech was leading the rally. Oh, real estate. People go into safety. Gotta tell you, I am a REIT guy. I like REITs. I'm very diversified. That makes me happy to some degree. SanDisk, 1735. Nebius, 227. Reddit, fallen from 181 to 177, ladies and gentlemen. Meta, 595. Realty Income, up 92 cents. Oh, what do you know? REITs, $60.93. SoFi, still in the green. Still in the green. Amazon, flipping green, 246.74. IBM holding it down, 282. Micron, 951. SPY, 740. Hood, 85.14. Big old Mo, 71.21. That's MH, 597.20. Tesla, 407.79. Oracle, 210.94. And a bridge, 55. Microsoft, down, 409. Not what we want to say. CoreWeave, 101.73. NVIDIA, 207.22. Ladies and gentlemen, not what we want to say. Verizon, 45.10. Snowflake, 238.65. AMD, 485. Broadcom, 391.72. I'm not sure where my next buy is. Maybe if it hits 350, I'll buy again. Not worried. Broadcom is going to do big things. My opinion. Palantir, 134.15. Zeta, 21.32. Cisco, Tommy Dimes' favorite company, is under 125. It's at 121.53. Salesforce broke 180. That's not good. 178.05, ladies and gentlemen. Rocket Lab, 110. Rocket Lab is full in. No bueno. And now let's go to deep red. Marvell, 266. Qualcomm trying to hold 200. ARM, 327. ServiceNow breaking down below 110. Do we go below 100 on ServiceNow? You know what? We're going to make a poll about this. Give me a sec. We're going to get a poll. Oh, okay. So I want to go over two things. First, how many of you remember when I used to say Apple should buy sport franchises and take $25 billion a year or $40 billion a year and put it into entertainment? Look at Madison Square Garden Sports Group, up 102% this year. Let's look at the 5-year. They could have bought the Knicks and the Rangers. They should have. They should have bought Manchester United also. Threw everything right on Apple TV. But what does Stevie know? Probably not much. All right. SpaceX news. For all of you interested in the space economy. SpaceX goes public June 12th. Competitors, suppliers, and ETFs that trade in its shadow. Are you ready? ASTS, Space Mob. Satellite broadband directly overlapping with Starlink. BWX Technologies, ticker symbol BWXT. I have no idea what the hell this is. Developer of advanced space nuclear propulsion. Momentous, MNTS. I know a lot of you have put this in the chat before. Provider of in-space transportation and orbital services. Redwire, satellite infrastructure provider and top retail favorite, drawing 41.1 million in pre-IPO net buying. Rocket Lab, closest direct competitor, already surging on SpaceX IPO. SATS EchoStar trades partly as a SpaceX Starlink proxy. Now we go, oh my God, it's a long list that we're going to go through. Direct competitors or peers, ASTS, BWX, Momentous, okay. Satellite and Earth observation. Black Sky. Remember Black Sky? That was a SPAC Palantir invested in, BKSY. Gilat Satellite Networks, Global Star, direct competitor in satellite communication, smartphone, SOS networks, Planet Labs, StatLogic, Sidious, Space Infrastructure, Kratos Defense, Intuitive Machines, Spire Global, Viasat, Legacy Aerospace, Boeing, L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and RTX, Raytheon. And then space ETFs, the three of them. ArcX, Space Exploration ETF, SPDR, Kensho Final Frontiers, ROKT. And then, oh, I love this ticker, Procure Space ETF, UFO. So there you have it. Space economy heating up. We'll see what happens. SpaceX IPO on Friday. On Friday. Why are we tanking? I'll tell you. I think people are taking profits again. I really think people are selling because of the damn SpaceX IPO. I cannot freaking wait until next week. I cannot wait until next week. You guys are saying there's a lot of red candles on video. I'll bring it up. Oh, 205.25. Should we get Captain Sleepy Time on the phone? Ask him what he's thinking. Captain Sleepy Time. Why am I not? What the fuck? Do I have a VPN on? I don't have a VPN on. I don't even know my Robinhood information. Hold on. Is that correct? No, it's not. That's got to be correct. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Check your Robinhood app. Okay. We will check it so we can get legend up so we can see the candles. Yes, it's me. All right, we're in, ladies and gentlemen. We are in. Give me a moment. We'll get legend up. Legend is up. All right. NVIDIA, damn. Look at that big ass candle. That's a big spike. All I'm going to tell you is this is an opportunity. I think people are assuming that Jensen going on all these newscasts is something being wrong. I don't think so. I'll take the opposite of that. I will take the opposite of that. Where are you guys? CPI is coming out tomorrow. Is that not tomorrow? Am I losing my mind? Tell me I'm losing my mind. Hold on. CPI is tomorrow. CPI is not out, everybody. Once again, it's tomorrow at 7:30, like I said at the beginning. Don't try to trip me up. It's tomorrow. It is not today. It is not selling off on CPI. All right, so NVIDIA is getting a big bump down. What about AMD? Are we getting a big wick on that? Yup. Okay, AMD is getting a wick. What about Micron? How big is the candle on that? Yup. Semis are just getting sold off. It is what it is. Semis are just getting sold off. Qualcomm. Yup. Marvell. Yup. I wouldn't worry about it. Once again, these are great companies with great cash flows. Oh, Matt, money. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, buddy. Matt, are you around tonight by any chance? Maybe like a little 9 p.m. late night session? I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking, Matt. Let's give the people what they want. Man, 205. I did not. We're gonna see if we can do it, everybody. Let's prod him. All right. Let's get Captain Sleepy Time on the phone. He's probably shooting a video. He's probably too cool for school. But you know what? Let's see if we can get him riled up. Let's see if we can get him to come on. Hold on.
Yo.
Hey, you're live. What's going on?
Oh, I'm on. Here, wait, one sec. One sec, I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You're live.
Oh, nice, brother. What's up?
We want to know if you would like to come on for 5 minutes and discuss NVIDIA and the opportunity, because we are now at 205.
I can't. I have an interview in 5 minutes.
Oh, look at you. Congratulations. Well, good luck. We're excited for you. When's it dropping?
This one, which is not the one that you're thinking of.
I didn't think it was.
Okay. This one is probably going to drop today or tomorrow.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, if you we have over 2,000 people here, so if you let me know when it's going to be, we will let everybody know, Tanner.
Yeah, I think you can expect it. Just to be sure, I'll say by tomorrow.
All right, so by tomorrow, Tanner will have a new interview. But real quick, NVIDIA is trying to fight to stay above 205. It has a huge candle down. Are you shook or are you excited?
Dude, my finger's hovering over the sell button right now. No, of course not.
All right, well, good luck with your interview. We'll talk to you later.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you see the news that
Such a, oh my God. Okay. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. So yesterday, for those of you that didn't see, he calls me yesterday, and I guess this is going to become a new thing where we just hang up on each other, because he calls me. We're talking for like 2 minutes live, and then he hangs up on me. And then he calls me back. And then after about 30 seconds, I just hung up on him. And now he just hung up on me again. So it's 2-1 him. So we're going to get him back. We're going to get him back. I should have known that was coming. I should have known. Should have known. But it is what it is. He is not shook. Neither am I. In all seriousness, I have covered calls out to August, which I'm seriously thinking about buying back right now. Maybe NVIDIA breaks under 200. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You know, I'm planning on shaving today or tomorrow. We are going to shave. Don't you worry. I know I need to shave. Okay. I know I need to shave. It's getting a little thick. I don't like it. So I will shave. Thank you for caring so much. I guess the shadow government is rubbing off on everybody. Oh, all right. So we got two things. Let's cut to this, and I'm going to comment over it. Let's see what Jeremy says, because you know what? He thinks things will be more impactful than what Kevin Warsh says next week. Let's see. Very excited about this.
Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business and Chief Economist at Wisdom Tree. Jeremy, we once again episodic. I remember how many times you've been bullish and against all odds, and it's worked out. Last time you were on, I think I said you're pretty cautious, and the market kept moving. Are you still? I think you were talking about inflation. Well, that's never great. And you're talking about rates moving higher, and you're talking about Iran and oil prices and all those things, and that gave you pause. Are you surprised that the S&P is, until recently, until the last couple of sessions, what we have 10 straight weeks of upward momentum? Did that make you think there was a day of reckoning coming, or that it's going to keep going?
Well, Joe, I don't think anybody wasn't surprised. I mean, if you would have told everyone, I mean, if you even told Tom Lee, 3 months, ago that, oil would be between 90 and 100, the strait would be closed, not much prospects there. Would the S&P be up 10 or 15%? The answer was, hey, that's crazy. Now, what's happened is there's a lot of workarounds, a lot of drawdowns. China stopped importing, 5 million barrels a day. We don't know whether we're up against the wall where suddenly people say, oh, the drawdown has ended. And that's why it is, the market's taking an encouragement if we are near. I mean, this, again, we all know that, Trump has said that we're near many times before, but it was, I thought the war looked like it was starting again last a couple of days ago. They both stopped. So maybe we do have the beginning there, which is certainly very, very bullish. I think we also, as you mentioned just before the break, I think, SpaceX is going to, obviously occupy this week. But next week, Warsh's meeting, wow, I don't remember one. I mean, you have to go back years, if not decades, to get something that to me is going to be more interesting and more impactful than what he's going to say.
I know. If it were me, I think I'd say, Mr. President, on second thought, I don't know. It's, you know what I mean? It's too late to back out, I think, but I do not envy what he has to do. I'm wondering what you attribute the upward move to in spite, against all odds, Jimmy. And we, I know you've read, reminiscences of a stock operator. It's the market's job to do this and to try to go higher with as few people believing it as it can. So that's I think Livermore called it the diabolical quest that the market does all the time. But usually you find out a couple. You find out later what was that there were some good things.
Is that not crazy that the volatility is 18? You feel like with the way things are happening overseas, it should be way over 18. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts, but I think this should be over 18.
AI still? Is it earnings remain strong?
I think there was a number of things. And first of all, oil not going, above 100, which is certainly manageable and of course very manageable for the U.S. being an exporter there. You also had, I mean, let's face it, blowout earnings that no one could imagine from chips. I mean, a turning point was when Intel said its old, totally depreciated chips actually have value, when actually much of the market was worrying about whether they were under depreciating those chips. I mean, that was a big turnaround that we also said. And then we've gotten much more accommodating monetary policy. As you know, I look at the money supply, and over the last 3-4 months, we've actually had a ratchet upward, which means there is liquidity there that can keep on feeding the AI revolution.
At this point, I've said it, no one would really hold it against Fed Chair Warsh. Well, I got to start saying that. No one would really hold it against Fed Chair Warsh if he didn't do what President Trump obviously wants so much, and that's lower rates, because things have changed, and the bond market itself can dictate what's possible for the Fed to do, and it certainly doesn't look like interest rate cuts are coming anytime soon.
I mean, the 10-year is the ultimate arbiter. You're absolutely right. But you notice even a tone change of President Trump from, a month or two ago, oh, we definitely have to lower rates, almost to saying, hey, just don't raise rates. I think his last statement was, I don't think we should raise rates. They sort of, maybe we could keep them the way they are. And clearly, I mean, next week, he's not going to raise or lower rates. But, I mean, what is it going to map out? I mean, is it going to change communications? Going to eliminate the dot plots? I mean, a new agenda is going to be announced. He gave us really not a lot of clues coming into him. No speech before the quiet period, which we're in right now. So really, it's a big reveal, if you want, next Wednesday. That I'm going to be, putting my ears right to the Fed announcement.
Yeah, we had Loretta Messer on yesterday and said there's no doubt that as rates move higher and the jobs number, the Fed is not tight right now. If anything, people are saying the Fed is even maybe
Loose,
too loose, maybe too accommodative right now for market conditions.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, especially when I look at the amount of credit now being offered into the market, we take a look at the market. I mean, it doesn't look like, there's a dearth of capital that, take a look at the enthusiasm for SpaceX and everything else. We absolutely, we just don't see that. And so, yeah, I think the market is probably, with a lot of uncertainty, predicting actually one rise if you look at Fed funds futures by the end of the year. But that could, really all change depending on what happens in the Gulf. And also, let's find out what, Kevin Warsh's framework is actually going to be.
All right. So let's look at CME Group. CME Group is saying nothing's going to happen. 98.3%, nothing is going to happen in 8 days at the meeting. I can't believe June 17th is next week. Where does the time go? Where does the time go? Jesus. All right. December. 43.1% of a rate increase by 25 basis points, not bips. Can't stand I can't stand the abbreviation of bips. I'm trying not to say it. It really annoys me. Basis points or 0.25%. We have a 31.5% chance that rates stay the same or decrease. Around 68% that we're getting a hike. I mean, this is a much different macro, but I'm not buying this, okay? We went from a month, keep in mind, a month ago, oil was at 95 or 100, all right? 75% chance of nothing happening is now down to 31%. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that we're getting a rate hike. I think a rate hike is horrible for the economy. It'll be horrible for the national debt. It'll be horrible for debt on the balance sheets of not just businesses, but all Americans. And credit card servicing will go up. Debt servicing will go up. Not what we want to see. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. What's scarier, everybody, is that by July 2027, they're factoring in basically no cuts for the next year. Now, I cannot say this enough. This could change dramatically next week. This could change dramatically next week. We need more than anything Kevin Warsh to speak up. I didn't know I was doing the market open either. until I saw Amit wasn't on and I got the bat signal. So I'm happy to stay on and hang out with everybody. Take you into the I'll stay on to about 12, that area, 12:15. But yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is not what we need. And when we look at the dot plot, I mean, how much has this changed? They don't even see rates going under 3% past 2029. Like, what the hell? I have a you know what? That's going to be my next Substack. Why rates should stay at 2.5% unless something dramatically happens. I talk about a lot. I am going to do a full Substack article on that, and I'm going to take all the heat. I don't care. This is bull. I'm trying not to curse. This is BS. Has anybody looked at the debt clock recently? The national debt is $39 trillion. $39 trillion. The interest on our debt is now over $1 trillion, everybody. You see where my mouse is right here? Is now over $1 trillion. Do not raise rates. I repeat, do not raise rates. Do not be dumb. Do not be dumb. Like, what are we doing? Do not talk about, it could be worse, could be 40 trillion. With the rate it's going up, it'll be at 40 trillion next month. All right? I swear to God, these people, anybody who thinks that we need rate hikes, you need to look at reality. You increase rates, you are going to increase the debt servicing. You're going to increase likely taxes because we're going to need to come up with the money in one way or another. You want lower rates. You want to be able to have new debt offerings at lower rates so you can issue new debt, pay less on the servicing, and pay off higher yielding debt. You can effectively not change the national debt level, but lower the interest on the debt by hundreds of millions of dollars if you can reservice all the debt at lower rates. I mean, I don't understand what people don't understand about this idea. I don't get it. Yes, we should spend less. There's a lot of things we should do. There's no question about it. But look, we're in the situation that we're in. We are in the situation that we are in. And look, spending less is not necessarily a reality. I mean, where's SS on here? Let's see. And here we go. Latest budget items. It was staring me right in this face. You're not going to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and you're not cutting Social Security. Like, you're not cutting those. So that's $3.5 trillion right there. $3.5 trillion in those two. I mean, you look at the tax revenue, 5.4. Just these three items is about $4.4 trillion. And then you add in this, it's your whole damn budget. Just with those three items. Like, we need a complete overhaul. There's no question about that. But the reality is, we need lower rates. Does this show the debt per citizen on credit cards by any chance? Hold on. I don't. Average new call. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Average new car is $50,000. The fuck is wrong with people? Not seeing it. No, I'm not seeing the credit card debt on here. I'd probably have to go to trading economics for it. But once again, this is insane. It's insane. Insane. What is this? Kramer wants Fed raise rates, claim help little guy. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's not true. Not true. I'll have a conversation with them. It's not true by any means. Yeah, listen. Not happening. I do try not to curse, but if I curse, I don't apologize for it. It happens. Once in a blue moon, it happens. Especially when I get rolling and I get pissed. Man. There is no way that they're going to raise rates. I shouldn't say no way, but I mean, if they vote on raising rates, oh my God, the detriment to the economy that is going to have would be crazy. Let's look and see where the markets are. Let's see where what these companies are doing right now. All right, tech is selling off, everybody. We're down 1.18%. And I agree with this, but I would rephrase it a bit. Housing is already locked up. I don't know that we can get that much worse, but you know what? Higher rates will make the housing market that much worse. Crazy. Crazy. Tech, negative 1.18%. Energy is down because oil is down. Everything else is catching a bid. SanDisk, 1750. Nebius 226, Reddit 176, Big Old Realty Income 61. Great movie, by the way. If you like baseball and you haven't seen the movie 61, I highly recommend going and watching it. It is one of my favorite sport movies of all time. Right up there, or I should say right behind Friday Night Lights. Remember the Titans. Ooh, put in the chat, what are your favorite sport movies? Just wondering. Will you do a live stream with Tanner on the Fed Chair meeting? If Tanner wants to join me, I am going to be streaming the Fed conference. There is no doubt about it. I will be streaming the Fed conference. Remember the Titans, Major League. Major League's hilarious. Rudy, Gridiron, Moneyball, love it, love it, love it. Dodgeball, love it. Coach Carter, a lot of people don't say that. Angels in the Outfield, Talladega Nights, Blades of Glory, a lot of comedy people here. I like it. Mighty Ducks, I like it, everybody. All right, cool, cool. Necessary Roughness is hilarious. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good stuff, everybody. I'm not seeing anybody put the program in here. Hurts my feelings a little bit, or any given Sunday, but that's okay. So you know what boxing movie's underrated? Southpaw. So underrated. All right. Meta 592. We're trying to get something rocking and rolling with Meta, everybody. Altria Group is running. Defensive companies are running. If you ain't first, you're last, everybody. Remember that. If you ain't first, you're last. Enbridge, IBM, 280.84. Alphabet, the first loser on the watch list, 363. Amazon 244, SPY 737, Verizon 45.28. The Qs 710. Take two, 210. SoFi 1631. The SMH 591. Chevron 186. Hoodio, hood. 83.99. And it just flipped on me. Where'd Hoodio hood go? Did it go down further? It did, 83.77. SoFi 1625. We're in the red, everybody. We got to hold 16. We got to hold 16. I should become an auctioneer in my free time. I think I'd be pretty good at it. SoFi, man, we're going to hold the line. I can feel it. The Fighter, great movie. Tesla 398. We're under 400, Jake Rizzo. We are under 400, Jake Rizzo. I repeat. CoreWeave is under 100, Canada. 99.63. AMD 477. Cisco, Tommy Dimes' favorite company, is trying to hold the 120 level. Apple 293, Palantir 132, Salesforce 176. Oh my God, what the hell is happening? What the hell is happening? People are not believing in SaaS, everybody. People are not believing in SaaS. Creed's a good movie. I'm ready. Venture Global 1237, Cloudflare 238, Fortnite 137, Zeta $20.89, trying to hold the $20 level. Next, Decade 809, Rocket Money 108.59, trying to hold the 100 level. We need Rocket Lab to hold the 100 level, everybody. Oh, I should look and see. Does this mean I'm in second place? I don't know. We're going to find out. ServiceNow 107, Iren 55, Qualcomm 204, ARM Holdings 323, and Marvell down 7.33%, 267. I have an idea. Is everybody ready? I have an idea. When Marvell hits 400, I'm going to go get a Carvel cake and we're going to eat it on stream. How about that? Since it rhymes with Marvell, Carvel, we're going to get a cake. There we go. We're going to get a cake. I wanted to bring something. What the hell did I want to bring up? I had an idea that I wanted to talk to everybody about, and now I kind of lost it. The hell? The hell did I want to talk to everybody about? It was on the tip of my brain. Something happened. Oh, stock draft. There we go. Stock draft. Let's see where we are. Is Christopher Patel rounding the corner? Am I rounding the corner? Oh my God. We have, how many more trading days do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 5 more trading days, everybody. It is a race. 5 more trading days. Christopher Patel has a 40% ROI. I have a 50.79%. Matt Money, 55.34%. And the mid is under 60, 59.51%. All right, everybody. I don't know. This is anybody's game right now. So we're going to say Tanner's got a chance. Sure, Tanner has a chance. His chances aren't good. You know what his chances are really good at? Coming in last and getting last pick. Okay? That's where his chances are. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But you know what? I'm not mad at being in third. I was in dead last for half a year. This just goes to show you. Sometimes theses take a little bit more time to play out. The stock draft, everybody, will be next Saturday night. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday night, the 20th. We will be drafting. It's going to be a heroic stream, everybody. I'm ready. Game plan coming out. Game plan is coming out. So this is where we're at. I'm very excited about it. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Why is Meta dragging NSO back to court? New WhatsApp threats raise alarm. I don't know. Don't really, not looking into it. I think people are crazy. I think Meta is going to do really well. I really do. Not just pumping the book. I really believe in my heart Meta is going to do well. And you know what? I think a lot of people are really looking at this SpaceX IPO and they're forgetting what investing is really about. So I know Lonsdale was on CNBC. I have not watched it yet. We'll watch it together in a few minutes. But one of the things I'm going to really start talking about, and I'm going to do a dedicated video on this. I have a list. I have not had time. I need to get back in gear. I just have not had time. ROIC, return on invested capital. Look, this is very important. It measures how much after-tax operating profit a company generates for every dollar of capital put to work. Now, the WACC, weighted average cost of capital, measures what that dollar of capital costs, blending the return shareholders demand and the after-tax rate lenders charge. So there is a ratio that I love, and probably every accountant loves it. ROIC divided by the WACC, because it's the cleanest single read on business quality, in my opinion. Above 1.0 means the company creates value with every dollar it reinvests. Below 1, they're destroying value, no matter how fast the company is growing. So I built a scanner for this, and I built a whole system to measure it. And what does it answer? My opinion, ROIC, it's a simple question an owner should ask. What is it? For every dollar tied up in the business, how many cents of profit does it throw off each year? It is the truest measure of operating quality because it ignores how the company is financed and how the market happens to price it. It looks at the cash the operations produce relative to the capital those operations consume. So a company that can sustain a high ROIC has a durable competitive advantage. That's why I love it. Okay. It can reinvest profits at higher rates of return and compound shareholder capital, which means they're compounding earnings. Now, Joe, can you upload a video on how you go about multiples, WACC, discounted cash flow? I don't like discounted cash flow, but yes, I can do some videos. I'll do a tutorial series. I'll put it on my list. The DCF is, look, in theory, it's great, but keep in mind, it's a discounted cash flow model. And most people, here's where I have a problem with it, okay? The discounted cash flow model, some people only go out 5 years, some people go out 10 years. But remember, every investment you make is the present value for all of the company's future cash flow, all of it, not just the next 5 years or the next 10 years. So I don't know that a discounted cash flow model is the best thing to use, but we'll see. I can definitely do it. So I really like the ROIC to WACC. I think it is a great investment tool. And The WACC is important because if ROIC is the return the business earns, the WACC must be cleared. Right? It's a big hurdle because capital is not free. Shareholders demand a return on the risk they bear against what the lenders are charging on interest. And the weighted average cost of capital blends the two into a single cost. The minimum return the company must earn just to leave its investors in the same position. It is also the discount rate that turns future cash flow into present value, which is why people use it for valuations. It is what it is. So I'm going to go to my scanner and I'm going to show everybody what I built. I showed Chris last night. He liked it. I got to figure out where it is. Give me a sec. I built a lot of damn things. All right, my Russell scanner is what we called it. We're going to refresh the data. It's refreshing. First time refreshing it today, so it'll probably take a minute. I have it running a scan on the entire Russell 1000 and doing all the computations based on the WACC and the ROIC. So we got to give it a minute. Oh, come on. Amit did not make it go red. People are probably selling for SpaceX. Come on. Were you paid to say this, cool as a cucumber? Were you paid to say this? I think somebody got to you. I think somebody got to you. I shave when I want to shave, everybody. Remember that. I shave when I want to shave. Turn my hat around? Why? Amit yesterday thanked everyone yesterday as a guest on his channel except you. That's okay. I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have to write him a letter. We're going to have to write him a letter. It's okay. I don't know why this is taking so long. Didn't take this long last night. Let's, okay. I guess it didn't update before. All right. It is updated. 11:30 a.m. We are updated. Apple, the most efficient company at deploying capital. The ROIC is 85.4%. The WACC is 9.5%. They have a 9x ROIC to WACC valuation. NVIDIA is the second best. Then Lilly, then Adobe, then Merck, then Costco. That's one of the reasons people love Costco. One of the reasons. AbbVie, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, McDonald's, man, those quarter pounders. Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Google, Meta. Meta 2.7 times. Salesforce 1.2. Deere, John Deere. Amit's in the chat. Is he really? I didn't see that. Do not bully him. It is not his fault. It is not his fault that the markets are down, everybody. It is not his fault. We are all red now. The Dow couldn't hold it. The Dow could not hold it. The Dow is down 329. The S&P is down 86. And the NASDAQ is down 506. No bueno. No bueno. Tech bleeding out. This is not good. Tech is bleeding out. I still believe this is SpaceX. Tech is bleeding out. We were green on tech. And it's not just tech and energy. Consumer discretionary, communication services, and industrials are bleeding out. Who is up? SanDisk is only up 2.65% now. Realty Income, 1.73%. Meta, oh my God. If Meta is number 3 on my list, on the watch list, no bueno. No bueno. 588, that's a joke. Reddit, 172.06. We are now under where my cover calls are. Reddit was up over $11 before. Big old Mo, 71.59. Get those dividends. Verizon, same thing, 6.2% dividend yield. Alphabet losing, Amazon losing. ET, 1905. Maybe I'll pick up more ET. Nebius, 214. Microsoft, 403. Trying to hold 400. NVIDIA getting slammed. We're going to have to go to the Robinhood Legend and look at that candle. 203.72. The SMH is down 3.10%. SoFi just lost 16, everybody. SoFi just lost 16. We're at 15.98. Apple. Oh, really? No shit. I did not think last night's event was that good. I guess the market's agreeing. 291. Apple lost 300. Cisco lost 120. Timing dimes. It's time to go to the track. Palantir is fighting to stay above 130. Broadcom getting hammered. Salesforce getting hammered. 174. Come on. That's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. CoreWeave 97.59. AMD 466. Zeta trying to stay above 20. This is not Amit's fault. Rocket Labs trying to stay above 100. Service now 106.31. Oh my God. Getting crushed. Qualcomm 201. Marvell does not get a Carvel cake today. No Fudgy the Whale. 260.65. That does not deserve Fudgy the Whale. That is just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I don't think yesterday was a fake out. I think the market was overdone on Friday. I think people stepped in yesterday. I think people are selling today. What's changed? You know, the only thing that's really changed is we're uncertain about what's going to happen overseas. Crude is still 87.63. Crude is down. Crude is down. Also, keep in mind, people are probably scared about CPI. As I said earlier, CPI is going to come in hot. Oh, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, and here's something else we got to remember. Yeah, no shit, Google's going to keep the best models for themselves. Google unveils new Gemini 3.5 live translate audio model. The tech giant says will aid live speech-to-speech translation. R.I.P. Duolingo. R.I.P. The model automatically detects 70 languages and generates smooth, natural sounding translated speech that preserves the speaker's intonation, pacing, and pitch. Google said on its website, unlike turn-by-turn systems that wait for the speaker to finish speaking before responding, 3.5 Live Translate generates speech continuously, balancing the trade-off between waiting for context to improve quality and translating immediately to stay in sync with the speaker. Wow. RIP. RIP Duolingo. Let's see where Duolingo is. Did I not spell that right? What's Duolingo's, there we go. Oh, it's flat. I thought this would have been down like 10% on that news. Maybe it's not factored in yet. This can't be good. This cannot be good for Duolingo. Cannot be good. Cannot be good. The reason I say, and yes, I know that it's for learning, not translation. My take, less people are going to need to learn the second language. That is my take. We are just going to become dependent on technology. We are just going to become dependent on technology. That is my take. Let's see. We have reports retail traders are rotating out chip stocks into high beta names as Wall Street reverses course and hands back earlier gains. I still believe this is algos. I believe stop losses are being hit. You can't have companies, like, in all seriousness, let's use Salesforce as an example. It's down 4.5% today. It's at 174. Okay. Who the hell is selling Salesforce? Like, really look at this. Who the hell is selling Salesforce? It's down 36% over the past year. Over the past 5 years, it's down 26%. Who the hell is selling this? Its market cap is under 150 billion now. And when you look at their cash from operations, 15 billion. This is trading at 10 times cash from operations and 10.5 times free cash flow. This is algos. This is stop losses. This is not an expensive market, in my opinion, when the biggest names are trading at great valuations with great forward growth. I'm not worried. The stock market is not supposed to go up every day. This is, in my opinion, a great opportunity for long-term investors to step in. And SpaceX is happening on Friday. I still think people are figuring out a way to raise money for SpaceX. I still believe that. I really do. And you can't fight the narrative. I mean, look, Mythos is going to come out this week, but guess what? Every one of these companies has access to it. They've probably already had access to it. They have unlimited token budgets. This is going to be an opportunity for long term. When it turns, I have no idea. I have no idea. But you know what? I think there's a lot of value to be unlocked. Look at Meta. Is Mythos going to impact Meta? No, absolutely not. Mythos is not going to impact Meta. And when we look at where Meta's we looked at it yesterday. We'll bring it up right now. The market is selling off. Think about this. You put your thinking caps on. I want everybody to get their thinking caps on. I'm going to get my thinking cap on. Okay, you ready? Here's my thinking cap. Rally cap backwards. Rally cap backward thinking cap. The market is selling off a company that has 33% year-over-year growth in Q1 with an 82% gross profit margin, a 40.6% operating income margin, and a net income margin of almost 50%. I'm sorry, this doesn't make any sense. Meta is trading at such a low valuation. The market is selling off companies for the wrong reasons. And that's okay. That creates an opportunity. That's a market. That's a market, everybody. People are supposed to buy and sell in a market. There's just more sellers than buyers. So, perfectly said. The market can stay irrational longer, and I would say longer than most people could stay solvent. That's what I would say. Look, it is not supposed to be easy to make money investing. It is not supposed to be easy. People are not supposed to make money every week. You're not supposed to make 30% a month. I'm all for making money. I'm a capitalist. I think day trading, if you can make money doing it, I can't. All good. All good. But it is not supposed to be easy to make money. It just isn't. These things happen. But you know what? When these things happen, you get great companies. I mean, let's get Tesla out of here and let's really look at this. That's a little small for everybody. We'll take Apple out also. We'll take Apple out. I can probably make it a little bigger. I mean, are we really going to say that we're going to sell these companies off? I mean, Meta trading at less than 20 times EBITDA operating income cash from operations. Microsoft trading at 20 times operating income, 17.6 times cash from ops, and 15.6 times EBITDA. Like, are we really going to sell these companies off? Amazon trading at 16.7 times EBITDA. No, this is crazy. This is an opportunity. NVIDIA should not be trading where it is, nor should these companies. Diana, what's going on? Rusty, what's going on? Amit should be feeling better. Look, I'm going to get an update. I'm going to text him because he probably can't talk. How are you feeling? See what he says. But look, I'm not in very small companies. I'm in big companies. And I think this is an opportunity. And you know what? These companies just got cheaper today. They just got cheaper. Oh, what? We don't want to pay under 14 times forward for NVIDIA? We don't want to pay under 15 times forward for Meta? Well, let's throw a bunch of old school companies in there. Walmart, Costco, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson, John Deere. What are some other ones? Let's throw all these in here. Oh, what? I mean, Pepsi trades at 14.8 times forward with 12% EPS growth. Johnson & Johnson, 21% with 16.7%. John Deere actually looks like a really good buy here. John Deere is going to be something I do a big analysis on. These numbers are crazy. Holy shit. What's a dividend on Deere? $5.71 it trades for. 1% yield, $6.48. Huh. You know, John Deere has raised the dividend for 5 years now. We're going to get into it. We're going to look at it one of these days. Coca-Cola Company, 21.7 times forward with 13.8% growth. Walmart, 32.7 times forward. I'm sorry, this is not an expensive market. When I look at the biggest companies trading at these valuations, all with double-digit EPS growth over the next 2 years, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm just not. Look, I look at profitability. I don't give a shit about market sentiment because market sentiment can change tomorrow. It can change next week. It can change in a month. People are worried about CPI. People are worried about the war in Iran. People are worried about oil. People are worried about whatever the hell they worry about. The biggest companies in the world are showing us that their guidance is intact. They are not pulling guidance. These companies, what was it? 70-something% of companies in Q1 from the S&P beat earnings, and we're not pulling guidance. Why am I going to get worried? Oh no, we're down a couple of percent on the S&P. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't know. That's investing. You got to be able to withstand volatility. You got to be able to withstand dips. And that's part of the problem with investing in really small, volatile companies. You take aggressive swings. Also, I'm not on margin. He did it out of good fun. Don't go on him too hard. Don't go that hard on him. I love that. When in doubt, zoom out. You know what? I'm going to steal that from you if I can remember. When in doubt, zoom out. I like that. I like that phrase. And it's very true. Look, let's put it to the test. When in doubt, zoom out, right? SPY. Oh no. It was 759 and now it's 731. Oh no. Let's look at a 10-year. Are we really that worried? I mean, come on. Let's go back. Let's go back to 90 what? Or I can only go back to what on this? 2006? Is today worse than the financial crisis? Is today worse than COVID? Is today worse than the 2018 trade war with China? Is today worse than 2022 when all these companies were trading at egregious valuations with no free cash flow? Is this worse than Liberation Day? I mean, Liberation Day wasn't that crazy. I think you can go back to everything I said during it. People were getting crazy for no reason. A lot worse. I would say you need to go study history. A lot worse. Not happening. If we go down 5 or 10%, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Markets are not supposed to go straight up. They're not. They're not. I don't think that. Let me phrase it like this because I don't want to deter anybody. I think people need to take. Shit. Give me a sec, everybody. All right. Amit said that he's feeling sick. He's going to the doctor. We hope he gets better soon. All right. So here we go. I think a lot of people need to look at their portfolios and a lot of people need to really take an inventory of what they own and why they're in those companies. Okay. I think everybody needs to really think about why they're in those companies. I'm not selling anything. I mean, this doesn't worry me. I don't know why everybody gets crazy about, oh my God, it's down. Like, you know what? Let it go down. Everybody's a forced buyer. Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Give me a sec. Hold on a sec. We're going to do a poll. I want to know how many of you put into a retirement account every week, every 2 weeks. All right. Start a poll. Do you put into a retirement account on an ongoing basis? Because I'm not sure what your paycheck schedules are. Let's see. How many of you say yes? That's what I want to know. All right, we got 65 votes already. Come on, everybody. Do me a favor. Vote. Let's get some data. This is one of the best ways that we can really see real-time data because we have so many people here. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you being here. I really appreciate it. If you're not following me and you like the content, follow me. I do content pretty much every day. I'll try to entertain you. I'll do my best to entertain you. We got 212 votes, 67% yes, 33% no. And keep in mind, if people are putting no, they could be retired also. So let's Call a spade a spade. All right, we got about 300 votes. Let's get some more. 15% of you have voted. It's yes or no. Click. But in all seriousness, 65% of you are putting into a retirement account on an ongoing basis. Give me 1 sec. Give me a sec. I'm texting Amit. All right. So here's my thought on this. 395 votes, 64% yes. You're buying every 2 weeks. Why would you want to buy at higher levels? You should want the market to go down. You should want the market to stay sideways. Yes, everybody likes seeing a bigger number. I get it. Everybody wants to see a bigger number. But you know what? As you put more money in, you will have more money in that account and you'll be able to acquire more shares at a better price. And you know what? Over the long term, having more shares at a better price will make you more money. Not to mention, SPY, you know what else it has? It has a dividend. Where is it? Do I not have it on here? I have it on a separate tab. It pays 1%. Okay, maybe not a huge amount, but it's grown the dividend for 16 years and it is currently paying $7.28. Every 100 shares you have, that's $728. I mean, you're getting another share a year. So, yes, you should want it. The dividends end up compounding. Well, you should care about dividends, especially in your retirement accounts. You should absolutely care about dividends and them increasing because all the S&P is doing is taking all the dividends from the companies they own and giving it back to you and allowing you to buy more shares. It's very important. It's very important. So you should. Thank you for the super. I really appreciate it. But if numbers go up, I retire sooner. I get it. But if you retire, you then have new expenses that you have to pay for, including healthcare. Listen, it's not that I love red days. I don't like red days per se. But you know what I do like? Getting better prices on stocks I'm buying anyway. It's very important. And look, what I'm saying is not applicable to day traders. And it's certainly not applicable to swing traders. What I am talking about is long-term investing, okay? I rarely make plays. I have a play on Reddit. I got to play on certain things, but most of my capital is for long term. And when I make an investment, most of the time, it's for 5 to 10 years, if not longer. So we need to call a spade a spade. I mean, I really don't want to play the clip from Josh Brown, but I feel like I have to. Crude is under 87, everybody. Let's go. Crude is under 87. Love it. Love it. Love it. Ryan, I appreciate it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. If we hit 718 on the SPY, that's probably a bottom for the day, says Hollis. You know what? Let's find out. I'd like it. Dunce, I was out for a walk and I got the bat signal that Amit wasn't feeling good. So I came home and I did the morning bootleg open. So you know what? Trying to entertain everybody, talk about the markets. I do want to watch this because I do believe it's very important. And I believe this is part of the reason we're seeing a sell-off. I haven't watched it. I'm going to react to it live with you guys. Whoops. I want in theater mode.
On the upcoming SpaceX IPO and the AI race, 8 VC founding partner Joe Lonsdale. He is a Palantir co-founder. Good morning to you, Joe. We're all, I think there's a lot of excitement about what's going to happen on Friday. There's also questions, though, about the structure of it, the valuation of it, the way it's being distributed in terms of more retail, the NASDAQ of it all. What is your expectation for what we're going to see come Friday and come the next coming weeks?
Well, listen, it's an exciting week, Andrew, and I think it's really smart that they're giving it to a bunch of retail as well. I think this is an industrial revolution that everyone in our country is a part of, and I think you've seen, obviously, coming from Palantir and the retail support there, and what Elon's done before. This is going to be a strong IPO.
Is your sense that we're going to see like a massive pop out of the gate?
Oh gosh!
Do you think that we're going to? I mean, it feels like everything. No, but the reason I'm asking is it feels like so many of the other IPOs that could come this fall or even later this summer are so dependent on whatever happens in the immediate aftermath of this. No?
You know, it's interesting. There probably is some effect where crypto probably, some of the liquidity probably is going into SpaceX and Anthropic and all these other things coming up, right? So I guess there's, in some sense, in the short term, there's probably some money shifting around and people are really excited. I think the key thing here, I mean, this is a critical company in the middle of the biggest industrial revolution we've ever had. Elon set really clear goals for himself where he gets extra upside if he achieves those goals financially. He's the kind of guy who doesn't miss his goals. So I think you look at those. I think you make your bets over a 3 to 5 year period. I'm not a short-term trader. I can't tell you what happens in the near term.
We had Steve Eisman on the show earlier this week. He is not a buyer of this stock. He believes the valuation doesn't make sense. Looks at the TAM, thinks so much of it relates to AI, and doesn't think that Elon. It does not that Elon's not in the game, but for whatever reason, doesn't believe that Elon is going to win that AI game. Do you have a different view?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are trillions of dollars in our economy being invested in the infrastructure for AI right now, right? Literally, I think it's like $5 trillion over the next 5 years. Like the tiny thing Elon spent, I think I'm not allowed to say exactly what he spent money on. I was just talking to him about it, but basically, it's like the payback is well under a year, is what I'll tell you, for the $26 billion he's getting paid on the part he spent that money on. I mean, he's the kind of guy who's the best at hardware in the world at a time when trillions of dollars are going into this area. And by the way, every single time that there's more dumb regulations, that there's more data centers that China is, spending money to convince us, along with the far left, not to do, that just helps Elon because he is going to do it in space in massive scale, and he's shown how it's going to work. So, I mean, he's really set this up in a way where he's just right in the key part of the AI wave. It's crazy to think he's not going to win.
Okay, so if you're right, and maybe you'll agree or disagree with this, I've been betting that he will relatively, I think quickly, but maybe you think differently, try to buy Tesla with SpaceX and SpaceX stock.
That's above my pay grade, Andrew. I think that SpaceX is set up to be key AI infrastructure. It's absolutely the best in the world at what he does, both on the hardware he built at XAI. I mean, it's amazing what people are paying for that. And here's the other intuition on that that's crazy. Like, they wanted longer contracts, right? So they're willing to pay way more than what it costs them per year, given his ability to build these things. And he's keeping it shorter because he thinks it's going to be worth more to him for what he's going to do. So, I mean, I think, listen, betting against this guy is not very smart to me.
It has not been very smart. What do you make of the NASDAQ changing its rules? There's been lots of questions about whether this is good for price discovery, bad for price discovery. Obviously, it creates an opportunity for the NASDAQ, creates an opportunity to get into the index for people who want to buy SpaceX as part of an index as opposed to buying it directly, but also creates all sorts of questions about creating sort of an automatic buyer, at least for a period of time.
Listen, I don't think the government should be buying into these things, which is a separate topic, but I do think the indices should be buying into these things. I think everyone who's long America should be long SpaceX. They should be long Anthropic as soon as they can be. You know, they should be long these key companies. I think it's going to be a really good thing to get a lot more of these things into the index. I still think we're very early in what this company is going to be worth. So that the market, whether or not it's expensive now, it's going to look really cheap in 5 or 10 years. And I think that's what matters here.
OpenAI, if you could buy SpaceX, Anthropic, or OpenAI, which would you buy?
I have bought SpaceX.
Oh, I wish I paused it sooner. What do we think everybody's going to say? What do we think he's going to say? What do we think he's going to say? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. He probably owns all three. I would want to buy Anthropic, but that's just me. He's probably going to say SpaceX, but I think he owns all three. All right, let's see.
SpaceX and Anthropic, actually, I'll tell you that. I think those are the two strongest right now, by far. And you know, listen, we're rooting for OpenAI not to implode. So I think hopefully it stays strong too.
Well, do you have fear it's going to implode?
I don't want to spread fears. I think that the other two in the strongest position by far. OpenAI was probably doing too much and lost some talent, but it's still a very impressive company. And I think the coding stuff's quite strong, and I think they're going to figure it out. But you know, I think Anthropic clearly has the momentum behind it and is the strongest in terms of some of those things. And I think the infrastructure SpaceX represents is just bidding on Elon is obviously the thing to do. So I think those are the strongest companies by far.
You mentioned the idea of the government taking stakes in these businesses. There has been a lot of chatter recently, and potentially even that Sam Altman has been talking about this idea in Washington. We've also heard it from people like Bernie Sanders and others. What do you make of that, and how do you think it would work or wouldn't work?
Yeah, I think Sam talking about that's coming from a position of weakness. I definitely don't think the government should do this, Andrew. I think it comes from a good place for some people. I think some people want the American people to be part of the AI boom and to feel it. And listen, I think they are going to be part of it in so many different ways. I don't think the right way is to directly take a position in OpenAI. Helping build more power, which is what we need in this country, helping accelerate permitting. You know, if we want to build 1,000 nuclear power plants and do something really big there, if we want to, you know, basically get rid of all these barriers still, which I think the administration is doing a pretty good job on, but could do a lot more better job on. We want to bring down the cost of healthcare by fixing things there. Like, there's things the administration can do that we all share the benefit of AI. I don't think the government should be taking position and making these things too big to fail.
All right. Well, I don't agree on a lot of things. I don't agree on a lot of things when it comes to SpaceX. I really don't. I don't think it's a great value. I have a very hard time with all these guys and gals that are bullish SpaceX at this valuation. I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, I'm not going to go down the conspiracy road about them being his friends and whatnot, but from a valuation standpoint, this does not make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And I think there's a lot of great opportunities out there, and there's a lot of things about this IPO that I just don't like. So, I don't know. I disagree. I don't know what's going to happen out of the jump. I think that this is going to have very big implications for retail. I think people are going to jump into it. And I think by the end of the day, people are going to move out. Give me one sec. I think that a lot of people are going to move out of it, and we'll see. There is all right, hold on. Let's see. Let's get somebody else's perspective real quick. Let's get somebody else's perspective.
Problem for people who have these sort of one-dimensional portfolios where they think they're diversified because they own Dell, Ciena, Cisco, Corning, and Microsoft. And really what they've done is they've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down on the AI CapEx theme. And then they say, well, wait a minute, one's a computer company, one's communications, one's a utility, blah, blah. No, it's a one-dimensional theme that you've been invested in. And by the way, it's the highest momentum area in the market. And that feels great when the tape is grinding higher at 0.5 point every day. But that's not today. I think Friday was a really good wake-up call. I think a lot of people took a look and said, all right, I'm up huge, but maybe I should have something else going on in my portfolio. Guys, do me a favor. Bring up the Halo ETF. LOHA. Scott, it's green today. It doesn't own any of that. Here are the top contributors in Halo. Ralph Lauren, Home Depot, Clorox, Masco, Lowe's, Colgate. These are all up. Coca-Cola Consolidated, Bottling, Signet Jewelers.
Shit, I hit the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Hold on.
One day. Why? There's no fundamental, there's nothing specific about those companies. It's just recognition, what Santoli was saying just now, the torque of these rotations. Well, if you start out from a position of diversification and you don't have an entire portfolio betting on AI CapEx becoming more and more ludicrous into the future, today's not that bad of a day. But you are being sort of tricked by what the S&P and the NASDAQ are doing and thinking that's representative of a stock portfolio. And it's not necessarily for most investors.
Joe, this is what, I don't know if you use the word violent or not, but I mean, this is what a rotation was going to look like. It wasn't going to be, this little, oh, let's drain some of the gains that we've had in tech and we'll just put it in other areas of the market. I mean, tech's getting ripped up pretty good. Momentum's been downgraded at Barclays to neutral. That plays obviously right into your wheelhouse. And Jonathan Krinsky says today that tech is not out of the woods, uses history as a guide and says when the NASDAQ loses 4% or more on a Friday, there's a 90% chance that Friday's low is breached in the next 5 trading days. And we don't think this time is any different. Maybe the market is starting to bear that out a little bit, that what happened on Friday needed to be retested, that yesterday's bounce was just that, a bounce and nothing more.
Yeah, I like the way that you describe all of that. Look, whether it's lower oil, higher yields, or just the parabolic nature of the way AI has been trading, it is very clear that the market is undergoing a rotation. And if you remember in the early weeks of March, we identified that the market was rotating from value to growth. What I see now is concrete evidence in front of me that says the market's rotating. It's going S&P market cap to S&P equal weight. It's going growth to value. It's going momentum to quality. And to Josh's point, it's going intangible assets to tangible assets. Now,
all right, we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's think about what they just said. Intangible to tangible assets, growth to value. Growth to value. I want to show everybody how this breaks down. So let me bring it up. We're going to go directly to the ETF. You guys are going to find this so funny. So growth, SPYG, is the S&P 500 growth companies, okay, from State Street. Look at the holdings: NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Broadcom, Meta, Amazon, Micron, Lilly. Those are the top growth companies in its portfolio, okay? Take a mental note of this. Take a mental note. You're ready for what the value is? SPYV. Apple, Amazon, Exxon, Walmart. I can't read all that, so let's scroll down. Apple, Amazon, Exxon, Walmart, Intel, Tesla, Costco, United Health, Bank of America, Chevron, Procter & Gamble. Apple and Amazon are in the top 10 growth, and they're the top 2 in value. Somehow Tesla is considered value. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. I know Tesla, Intel, right? Sounds like an oxymoron. But keep in mind, Joe Terranova said, and I don't like when it does this. I don't know why it doesn't share the screen the whole time. When we talk about, or when I talk about, okay, hard assets, that's tangible assets from what Joe Terranova just said. So he said going from intangible to tangible assets. Well, Realty Income, when you look at their portfolio, 15,500 properties under net lease agreements, 98.9% occupancy. It's incredible. Incredible. So let's look at the income. You ready? Went too quick. 13.6% compounded annual return, 4.2% compound annual dividend growth rate, 671 monthly dividends declared, and 114 consecutive quarterly increases. What's there not to like? What is there not to like, Lena? I want to know. I don't want to own commercial real estate on my own. I don't want to deal with tenants or people, but I'll own it in a REIT and let their management team do it for me. I think companies like this are going to do well. I really do. I think companies like Energy Transfer are going to do well. Jake, Rizzo, and Lena will tell you all day that Tesla is deep effing value. And you know what? State Street agrees with them. State Street agrees with them. Who am I to say that it's not? If State Street, if Lena, if Jake, if they say it's value, I'm not going to disagree today. You know what? Tesla's a value company. There, I said it. I won't disagree. Oh, whoa. Lena owns Realty Income. Look at that. Love it. But in all seriousness, I do think the market is going to reward companies with hard assets. I really do, especially in the back half of the year if my prediction about rates happens. So we'll see. I do believe it. Oh, it just got just a little better looking in the chat. Mr. Irwin is here. What's up, Irwin? Bet you're waiting for the end of the month. Who knows? Maybe you'll even make an appearance. We'll see. Anyway, let's get back. Let's see what they're saying. I know Micron's dumping. I get it. It's scary out there, people. I'm here. I'm going to talk some sense into you. Don't worry. I'm going to comfort you. Is it scary? Maybe. Lululemon up 1%. Uber down 69.94. Amazon 243. Reddit 168.87. This thing is dropping like a brick in water. Huge red candle. Look at that. Ugly. NVIDIA 201.05. Chips are going down hard, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Chips are going down hard. Look at those candles. Oh my God. Everything's selling off. SoFi just lost 16. Tesla lost 400. Oh my God. Palantir lost 130, everybody. Palantir lost 130. Broadcom lost 380. Nebius may lose 200. We'll see what happens. Micron down 8%, 870 right now, going down hard. Service meow, 104.30. Qualcomm is under 200, ladies and gentlemen. Qualcomm is under 200, is 196. 196. Marvell, Fudgy the Whale is not making an appearance. Okay, we are not getting a Carvel cake. Marvell did not earn it. 248. It's down 14%. It is a sea of red out there, ladies and gentlemen. It is a sea of red, but don't you worry, because you know what hasn't changed? Their cash flow. Their cash flow has not changed. There is no reason to get crazy. Corrections happen. And like Lena said, that's the attitude. I like it. Want more NVIDIA? Want more Amazon? Keep going down. Boom. And I like it. Addicted to trading. I like it. Got my powder ready. Shells is echoing it. I love it. Rusty says, give me more red. I'm with it. Look, in the short term, who cares? If you're day trading, I get it. Oh boy. Greatness is upon us, everybody. Ray, did you have your chocolate croissant this morning? I just want to know. I just want to know. Because I'm jealous. I am jealous. I'm still working on my coffee, buddy. Still working on it. I mean, I feel like you and Matt are conspiring here. You and Matt are conspiring against me to have it all go to zero. It's okay. It's all right. Jake Rizzo, you and I, seeing eye to eye, buddy. Stop losses and margin calls, algos, I'm with you. I'm with you. Look, the market, this would have never happened 20 years ago, okay? We have cell phones, we have internet, we have social media, we have algos, we have high frequency trading. We have so many things, and it cuts both ways. When you get into a rally, it just freaking moves. But you know what? On a downtrend, everybody tries front running it. People put stop losses in. This is, okay? This is, unfortunately, the new normal. You got people on margin. You got people borrowing money that they can't afford to invest. And when this happens, you get margin called. You have stop losses hitting. Look, the reality is, in my head, I can't prove this, okay? This is just my theory. This is in my own head. When we see downturns so sharply like this, especially in this environment where WTI just went under 90 and there's no real news as to why this should happen, I do believe an initial sell-off is getting overdone because you have stop losses being hit. You have algos picking up on the downturn and their high frequency trading against it. I do believe you have people getting stopped out of positions because of the stop losses, and that turns into margin calls. So what happens when a stop loss gets triggered or you get a margin call? You have to sell into weakness. So a downtrend becomes that much more volatile and it keeps going down. Look, that's what happens in these types of markets. That's what happens. I can't tell you that's going to be okay today, nor will I do that. My magic 8-ball is from Temu, okay? I don't have a crystal ball. I got magic 8-ball. Are we going to be okay today? Let's see. Come on, you can do it. Prospect good. Prospect good. All right, magic 8-ball. Prospect good. I'll remember that. But look, we also did the new pattern day trade rules go in effect. Hold on. When do they go up? Oh, shit. The pattern day trader rules eliminated removing the $25,000 minimum equity requirement to trade restrictions, replaced by a risky intraday margin system effective June 4th. So don't forget, when was June 4th? Last Thursday. We also have a no pattern day trader rule. This may take a little bit for, we may take a little bit of time for this narrative to unfold. Unlimited day trades. Accounts above the 2,000 minimum can execute as many intraday trades as margin allows without the old 3 trades per 5-day restriction. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. It is what it is. We're going to have a bunch of noobs trading. That's all there is to it. I don't know. This is not something that I get crazy about. Is the pullback getting violent? Sure. But before we go back to what I wanted to, because I know they're going to talk about chips real quick. What's changed for NVIDIA other than it's at 200? I mean, seriously, everybody, what changed? What changed? What changed in the past month? Oh, incredible guidance? Oh, incredible earnings? What changed? We're still up over a 3-month period. Year to date, we're still up. 1 year, we're still up. It's okay, everybody. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. It just may not be okay today or tomorrow, but it's gonna be okay. Danielle, you don't want to see my technical analysis, but you know what? For you, I'll show you my technical analysis. You ready? We'll do it on NVIDIA. Because I'm a nerd, and you know that I talk to Amit at 11 o'clock at night on a Saturday about stocks, and that's how we have a good time these days. I'll show you the extent of my technical analysis if I can just find my system. Did I close it? How dare I? Who do I think I am closing my system? No bueno. You want technical analysis? No problem. Where's my TA assistant? All right. NVIDIA. I can do technical analysis with the best of them, everybody. Look at that. Look at that. I got everything going. I got everything. I got the RSI. I got the Scholastic, the Williams, the EMA cross, the VWAP, the MACD. I got it all. I got it all. I got the support. I got the resistance. I'm ready. Ready for battle. I even have my own assistant that can generate the interpretation and my trade setup. That's the extent of my technical analysis. I have everything done for me. So, just saying. Just saying. We'll generate my trade setup right now. See what my little assistant can do for me. And I have it on, oh shit, I have it on a day trade. I should probably change it to swing or, so moderately bullish, aggressive 250, conservative 201.25, price targets 203.12, 205.75, and 208.93. Bullish, RSI oversold 25.8, Scholastic oversold at 6.1, Williams deeply oversold, and price at Bollinger lower band. So there you go. That's where I am on my TA. But if we're not looking at TA and we're just looking at what changed, this is what changed. If I can find it. NVIDIA put up an incredible quarter with 85% year-over-year growth. And they're going to do 90% plus in Q2. We're buying a better company at cheaper prices today than we did yesterday. we're buying a better company at cheaper prices than we did last week. I can't control what the markets do. Okay. I can't control what the markets do, but I can look to deploy capital in companies that have incredible cash flow, incredible profitability. Why would I not want? And look, I've said I have too much NVIDIA already, but if it goes under 200, I may not have a choice. When I look at the forward, we're now paying 13.7 times for 2028 earnings with NVIDIA. I mean, come on. That's crazy. This is undervalued. Now, can it get lower? Yeah. Can this go to 185? Yes. But how much lower is it really going to go? Do we really think we're going to see this at 170? I'm going to bring up an Excel and let's plug it in. Let's see. I think this is all just intraday trading bullshit, in my opinion. So many traders out there, and the algos just really get a hold of it. So give me 1 sec. I need to make this look pretty for everybody. I'll do it live. Excel, boom, boom. I should really code it so it comes out the way I want, so I don't have to do this all the time. I mean, look, I like to look at it a certain way. I'm sorry. All right. These need to be dollars. This needs to be dollar, and then we need a percentage. Okay. NVIDIA's 201.15. Do we think it's going to 175? At once, fuck. It doesn't come up with the formulas. So damn annoying. Hold on. I need like 30 seconds. Hold on. Do. Okay. Number, boom. Okay. Are we really going to say that NVIDIA is going to trade at under 20 times this year's earnings and under 12 times forward? I don't think so. Why would we? What on earth would possess the market to trade NVIDIA down to 175? I mean, I don't think that's reasonable. I think 150 is even less reasonable. I mean, 10 times forward earnings, that would be insane. I don't think that we are going to see that. Meta is very inexpensive. I'm having a hard time believing the market is going to do this to us. At some point, these companies become too cheap. There's a ton of capital on the sideline. People will step in. I do believe people are going to sell things to get into SpaceX. I would not be surprised if we see a tremendous amount, okay? A tremendous amount of buying next week. And I would not be surprised if we go down this week, because I do think SpaceX is going to be that bought. I think the volume is going to break records, and I think that it's going to do huge numbers, and people have to get capital from somewhere. People are probably trying to front run CPI. They're raising capital. Stop loss is getting hit. But if you're a long-term investor, this is not what should be getting you scared. Okay? I'm not scared. I am not scared. I'm here to comfort you. I'm not scared. Do we think Microsoft's going back to 350? I don't. 20 times this year's earnings? Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't believe it. I won't believe it. I refuse to believe it. At some point, dollars and cents have to add up. These companies are putting up so much profitability, and they're only going to get stronger. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's go back and give me a moment. All right, this is what I want to watch. And this is what everybody wants to watch. We got some news on chips. Or maybe it's not news, but they're going to talk about chips.
A lot of them are going to come down. Now, you know, Micron, there's a great chart to show you the huge ramp up. Who knows what the stock ends up retracing in terms of that run up, but obviously yesterday was a weak bounce because the stock's giving right back 7%, along with many of these other chip names like the AMDs, which Joe was talking about, which is down 7%. Intel is now down 7%. Many of the names in that orbit are following suit.
And I think it's safe to say that a lot of the bets that were being placed in the last few weeks have been somewhat speculative. Even if there is some there in names like Intel and Micron and others, I think that Josh and Joe made a point that I hope they're both right about, in the sense that folks are finally waking up and being willing to take some profits here and redeploy those dollars into other sectors and other cap weightings that might have been unloved up to this point. I'm not completely sure that it's that straightforward. I think we might actually be seeing people trying to line themselves up to get ready for the IPO. But I do think that...
What have I been saying? What have I been saying?
Maybe it's possible that folks are heeding what I've been saying for a few weeks now, that in some of these more speculative names, especially, and Micron, I'll pick on them since you brought them up, that has doubled their market cap within about 2 months. It's time to be realistic and say, this whole thing can't go on forever. We've been unwilling to acknowledge that this does look a lot like the late 90s. We've been trying to bend over backwards and find ways to say, no, maybe we're more like 96, 97. I strongly disagree. We're talking about
I strongly disagree with you, sir, with what you just said. You had me. You had me with people pulling out to go into SpaceX. You just lost me, sir. This is nothing like 2000. Nothing.
Last year in 2025, just to give you an example, IPOs raised about $43 billion in combined.
Boom. Rusty, you know what? I have a theory. Thank you for the super. Really appreciate it. Observation: the ladies in the chat are less emotional than many guys regarding a red day. I think women are better investors than men. Just me. Okay? I truly believe that. The shadow government is a better investor than me. I think women make better investors than men. I do. Just saying. I think that women do a better job of not getting emotional over stocks. And yes, Chels is right. Chels is right.
Capital. In 2026, we're talking about 3 names raising somewhere around $200 billion. Where does that capital come from if it doesn't sell out of a lot of these more speculative names, including Bitcoin? And I think that's probably got to be infused somewhere, even if there is a rotation going out of the AI trade and more to more quality names or more calm names that have been unloved through this year.
Maybe so, Jim, that, you know, some of what you're seeing is undoubtedly due to positioning around the SpaceX IPO, just prepping portfolios to be able to buy that name on Friday when it opens for trading. And maybe the retail cohort has been leading a lot of that, both on the way up and then on the way down. I feel like we need to address Apple because it's a significant mover. You own the stock. You were with us yesterday. It's moved sharply lower now. You know, they unveil this, you know, Siri AI. They got the app, and there was a lot of enthusiasm, I think, in the lead up yesterday. But it sounds like, or at least it looks like, the market is going to ask some serious questions about what this really means for their AI future, whether they proved anything yesterday or it all remains to be seen.
Well, it probably does remain to be seen, Scott. I think they have defined what their strategy is, which is to not do a lot of CapEx, to partner with Gemini, with Google, Alphabet, to use their technology. And that's a defined strategy. It has some advantages to it in terms of cost. But as you just said, I think we're going to have to wait and see whether the new models, the new Siri, is attractive enough in the holiday season coming up. I think the tension here has always been, and we addressed this yesterday, the valuation versus the fact that it's Apple and it has the iPhone and it has the services. And today and yesterday, that tension is breaking towards the idea that maybe it's a little overvalued as we're looking right now at 32 times forward earnings. And it's also maybe emblematic of the NASDAQ writ large. Not that there is something catastrophically wrong with Apple or the NASDAQ, but that all of these stocks needed to pause. They needed a consolidation, which is what I think this is. I don't think it's something worse. The profit growth at all of these companies, the economic growth in the United States, it's just too strong to say that there's something worse than a consolidation going on. In an effort to be helpful to our viewers, I want to say that I'd be looking more to buy in the coming days. I think it's probably a little too late to sell unless you're saying to yourself that you think you can perfectly time a 5% move to the downside that may yet come in the NASDAQ. To me, that's being way too cute. If you've trimmed your positions, as all of us have said, trim your positions on the way up. You should have some capital with which to buy this dip in the next coming days.
Maybe.
I want to echo what Farmer Jim said. I mean, he hit it right on the head. Right on the head. I mean, he makes so much sense. And I really appreciate that perspective. So important. So important. Sometimes you got to take profits on the way up. And with the American economy, with what we saw from earnings from the biggest companies in the world, from what we saw from roughly 70% of S&P 500 companies beating earnings, basically nobody pulling guidance, why should we think that there's going to be some crazy sell-off? I mean, this is probably a consolidation. I don't think this becomes a bear market, okay? That's just my own opinion. You go down 5 or 10%, oh well, it'll snap back. The market over time goes higher. Oh boy, SpaceX IPO sees strong institutional demand. SpaceX IPO has attracted demand multiple times the available shares from institutional investors, according to people familiar with the deal. The offering is reported to be well oversubscribed, with large long-only funds dominating orders and some investors bidding for $10 billion plus in allocations. Banks plan to close order taking midweek ahead of pricing on June 11th. The IPO, valued at about $1.8 trillion, is expected to be the largest one ever. Keep in mind, if this is true, okay, let's be honest, because I am always intellectually honest with you all the time, 100%. If long-only institutional funds are dominating the order book, and if some investment firms are putting 10 billion plus orders on, do you think that they're not selling positions? They're selling to raise capital. Don't be surprised if we snap back next week. Do not be surprised. All right? Do not be surprised if we snap back next week.
Maybe, Josh, you know, what yesterday was in the eye of the beholder. I mean, because I see what the stock's doing. Let's not forget it was at a record high, I think, even at a moment yesterday, but certainly in the prior days. Dan Ives says it was impressive, didn't disappoint. Morgan Stanley says they've illustrated clear progress on the roadmap. They raised the price target. TD Cowen says it was a step in the right direction while going a bit further, saying it came in shy of expectations. KeyBank lacking in context. Barclays struggle to see what the monetization is. UBS, investors will be underwhelmed. What about you? I mean, you're a shareholder.
I think investors are underwhelmed in the short. I mean, this is obvious. Look at the stock price. Investors are underwhelmed in the short term, but I don't care. Henry Ford said if he would have asked his customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. I'm not worried about Wall Street's knee-jerk reaction to Apple technology. I think what ends up happening is Siri AI comes out in September, which is 3 months from now. The iPhone 18 goes on sale. The only question that really matters for the stock price, not for the consumer and whether or not they're excited, the stock price, what matters is will people want to upgrade the iPad, the watch, the AirPods, and the phones in order to take better advantage of not just Siri AI, but all of the different AI things that they announced? And I think the answer is yes. I think having an ongoing conversation throughout the course of the day with agentic Siri, asking it to complete tasks for you, having the only AI that actually is interoperable with all of the apps on your phone, because working with agentic Siri will become a prerequisite for third-party apps to even be in the App Store to begin with. I think all of these things will make it an impossible to beat combination. I'd be way more worried if I were ChatGPT than I would be if I'm an Apple shareholder, because what will ultimately happen is that interoperability, having agentic Siri working with all of the other things that you're doing with other apps on your phone, that's where the monetization part comes in. So all of these AI services that people are bankrolling with VC capital, they're building baseball teams to compete with each other. And Apple is building the stadium in which all of these teams are going to be competing. And if you don't understand that, you should probably hand over your investment dollars to somebody else to manage for you.
I don't hate that, but we got cut to something else. So 5 minutes ago or so, the President of the United States tweeted, "I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump." Well, there you have it. Once again, I'm going to say this again, everybody. Please remember. Well, last time I checked, it's June 9th. And last time I checked, this says 12:38 p.m. And today is June 9th. Okay? So here we go. I don't know who the hell they're negotiating with. I don't know who the hell they're negotiating with. I mean, look, I'm not getting political. I hate politics. I have my own views. I'm an independent. But look, the reality of the situation is, who the hell are they negotiating with over there? It goes back to my point that you can't believe anything because there's no way that Iran has control over all the different tribes. There's just no way. So at some point, you just got to freaking say, it is what it is, unfortunately. I really hope that whatever the United States does not impact civilians. That's all I got to say about that. But let's see where oil is. Where is oil right now? Are the oil markets moving? 88, not really moving. Oil markets are still down. Let's hope that whatever response the United States implements does not impact oil. Oh boy. If you weren't bullish on AI, Goldman Sachs just gave you a big reason. Amid the unsustainable demand for all things artificial intelligence related, Goldman Sachs now believes that AI-linked servers will hit 1.24 trillion by 2030, while traditional servers could surpass 160 billion. AI server forecast for 26 through 30 raised by 18% on average, now expected to reach 1.24 trillion versus the prior forecast of $961 billion. 3% increased outlook across units, 15% increased outlook across ASPs. Wow. If you're not seriously thinking about the long term, you're crazy. You get Goldman Sachs coming out and saying this. You get Goldman Sachs coming out and saying that we're raising by 250 billion or so, and these companies are selling off. Long-term opportunity. Let me ask all you guys and gals. Let me ask you this. Does technology ever go backwards? Please answer me that. Does technology ever go backwards? That's the first question. Okay? Yes or no? No. Do we ever stop innovating? No. And if we never stop innovating, won't the companies with the biggest cash flows want to consume the best tech in the future? Yes, they will. Let the volatility happen. Monetize it. Monetize it. We're going to be okay. We are going to be okay. People are front running CPI. People are worried about a U.S. response. It is what it is. It is what it is, everybody. Long term, in a year or two, I think we're going to be much higher than we are today. And it's not even about the CPI report, it's about the forward forecast. And then there's Ray. Maybe he's right. Do I need to buy a beeper now, Ray? Do I need to be beeper guy and get a typewriter to type my Seeking Alpha articles on? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is cyclical. Maybe these things are coming back. Or maybe technology is just going to keep going. We'll see. I think there's a lot of reasons people are worried, but I think there's even more worries to buy. Oh, shit. Okay, we're gonna watch. Oh boy, brand new.
Rooney has details. Morning, Kate.
Morning. So OpenAI did take a major step toward a public market debut, filing confidentially with the SEC for that IPO. In a blog post last night, this AI giant saying, we expect it to leak. So we're just announcing it, but very much leaving the door open to staying private. They said OpenAI has not decided on timing, called going public a complicated set of trade-offs, and this paperwork does give OpenAI the option to move quickly if it chooses to go in that direction. For now, I am told by a source the company does also plan to let employees sell shares through a tender offer. That would be at its current valuation, which is around $850 billion. And then that would also reduce some of the internal pressure potentially to rush out to public markets. I'm also told by a source this company could go as soon as September. That would depend on market conditions. We have also reported that OpenAI is working here with Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. It does come just days before SpaceX is expected to begin trading, only a week after rival Anthropic also confidentially filed its own IPO paperwork. Anthropic was last valued around $900 billion. OpenAI and SpaceX, I should say.
Okay, we got major news, everybody. The nurse just stuck a weird thing up Amit's nose. They're prodding him with things. Pray for Amit. Pray for Amit. We're with you, buddy. We're with you. Oh, God. Oh, God. Anyway, Rusty, that's, oh, God. Listen, I will say this. If I feel like I'm getting so like if I'm getting sick, if I'm sick, I go to the doctor. Give me antibiotics immediately. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. Do not take no for an answer on the antibiotics.
Combined would really put this at a multi-trillion-dollar IPO year when you step back. These filings, though, they are confidential. Investors are not going to see any of the financials until closer to any sort of listing. And while these are historic valuations and numbers, the cash burn, guys, is also historic. According to PitchBook, OpenAI is spending $2.20 for every $1 earned. This company, the big spending item really here is data centers and the AI build-out. Analysts at PitchBook writing this week, OpenAI's revenue is real, but the economics are less certain. Back to you.
So once we get more data and information on the financials, Kate, what are the key questions going to be when it comes to justifying these trillion-dollar valuations?
I would say,
Danielle, I've put worse in my body.
Sarah, gross margins are the big one. There are questions over if this company has negative gross margins. It's not certain that it does. It's definitely not profitable, but the path to profitability and the business model of these AI labs, this is really going to be an entirely new asset class. The cash burn, as I mentioned, is historic. They're spending so much on the data center infrastructure and the build out on the level of which they've described as sort of the railroad build out or the interstate highways and talked about this as an industrial revolution. The big question, is there a path to be profitable? Is this a good business model? And I think whoever gets out first, whether it's OpenAI or Anthropic, is going to have to explain that and really prove that path. And that's part of the rush to get out first when you look at OpenAI versus Anthropic here.
And OpenAI has raised more overall than Anthropic,
Yes.
right? Even though Anthropic got the higher valuation. Just trying to keep it all straight.
It's a good point. Yeah, exactly. So Anthropic recently sort of edged ahead of OpenAI when you look at the price tag. OpenAI, though, has raised more in private markets. But both of these companies, there's a question about whether private markets are tapped out at this point. Both of these companies need a lot of capital. And they can also, if they're public, it's easier to tap debt markets, which is something that Sarah Fryer, the CFO, has talked about. They're also looking, similar to SpaceX, for a pretty large retail portion from what we're gathering. Sarah Fryer, the CFO of OpenAI, did tell us they are going to reserve a portion for retail. And SpaceX could be sort of a litmus test for some of that retail demand, although there's sort of the Musk factor with SpaceX, so maybe it's not analogous. But
I'll tell you, I want these companies to go public. I think that SpaceX is going to prove that the market can absorb it and retail is going to buy it. Institutions are going to buy it. Anthropic and OpenAI, I do think OpenAI is going to go public first. I think they have to. I think the market is looking at them and saying, you know what? Anthropic looks like it's going to win the enterprise race. And OpenAI would be crazy to go IPO after Anthropic. I'm excited to see the numbers. I would like to be a shareholder of Anthropic, but I also think that at some point, AI is going to get commoditized and it's going to be a race to the bottom. So we'll see what happens. And in that perspective, Alphabet wins. So we'll see if that ends up playing out. But Alphabet wins in that perspective. I don't see a world where they don't. I mean, it would be pretty crazy. All right. All right. Wait, Ray, what do you mean you have 3 morning trees? Do you mean teas? Teas? I don't know. No, I have not seen Sam Friedman's Anthropic State. Nope. No, I have not. Let's look and see where we are, ladies and gentlemen. NVIDIA flirting with 200. We're at 201. We're at now at 295. Service now, 104.05. We're getting some big candles down. Little stabilization. Micron 865, everybody. Okay, it looks like we got buyers coming in. So Micron leveling out. Nvidia leveling out. Where's good old Broadcom? Broadcom may be leveling out. C-Man, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Amit's tough. He'll get through it. I think he just needs to rest for a day. I think he should take some melatonin, sleep for 24 hours, knock it right out of the system. I think he just needs his rest. Where's Meta? 582, you dirty rats. Dirty rats on Meta. This should get bought. This is insane. Insane. Oracle heading into earnings. We're going to go under 200, it looks like. We're not. Starting to get bought up. We'll see. Palantir under 130. Palantir, we got a nice green candle there. Qualcomm, nice green candle. Starting to get bought. Reddit 169.32. All right, we may be bottoming for the day. SoFi 1580. 1580. What does the week chart on SoFi look like? Do I do something stupid? Yes, I think it's time. Let's see. Where are the spreads at that I was looking at? Let's see. SoFi. Trade options, vertical spread. We want a $10 width. Let's see what the price point is, ladies and gentlemen. June 16, 2028. Oh boy. Oh boy. Do we do it? I don't even need to go out anymore to 30-40. It doesn't even make sense. The 25-35s or $1.33. What's my buying power? Hold on. I am going to put these in. Okay. Review. Order received. Did it fill though? It's been placed. Did it fill? Did it fill? How do I know if it filled? It didn't fill, everybody. Why is it on limit price? Let me edit this order. I want to buy these. Oh, up there. Change the market. What the hell was that? Somebody just ding me on WhatsApp. All right, let's try this again. I bought them. All right. I am now an official owner of spreads on SoFi. 25 long call or short 25 35s for 616.28. I am officially a SoFi spread holder, everybody. I did it. I finally did it. Finally did it. All right. Let's see what else is going on here. Zeta needs to hold 20. Needs to hold 20. Finally filled. Finally filled. Palantir under 130. Qualcomm under 200. You did the same? I like it. I mean, don't follow me on it. I got a feeling. And if it goes to 0, I'm okay with that. I believe in SoFi. I mean, out to 2028, I don't hate those spreads. I don't hate them. Man, Amazon 241, I'm pissed. Here we go. I'm pissed. You ready? You're about to see me get angry. Amazon. This is getting silly. This is getting freaking silly. We're going to add Target. I don't know what Target's at. I certainly can't spell. Okay, Target at least, these companies, if Target is trading at 13 times, Walmart and Costco should be trading at like 16, 17 times. Amazon should not be trading here, ladies and gentlemen. It shouldn't. Amazon has 46.7% year-over-year growth expected in EPS. Walmart and Costco have no. I'm getting pissed about Amazon not buying the dip. Buying the dip is what I wanted to do. I'm getting pissed about Amazon. Pissed. Amazon is down to 241. The valuation makes no sense. This is what we call BS. BS. I'm going to look to buy more Amazon. This is crazy talk. I do not understand it. Amazon is underperforming the S&P. It is being absolutely disrespected. Crazy. Amazon is being disrespected. I don't know. Think about it. They have more EPS growth and they trade at such a lower valuation. And let's look at it like this. Oh, why would we value a company that does more revenue, more gross profit, more EBITDA, more operating income, more net income by a large margin with more EPS growth at a lower valuation than these two? Oh, because we're stupid. Because we're stupid. That's why. Because we're stupid. And the only reason free cash flow margin isn't better is because of CapEx. Amazon is likely to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of the AI revolution. This is bullshit. If I've ever seen something that was bullshit, it is this. Okay? It is crazy. Yeah. I'm with you, Justin. I'm with you. You know why I'm with you? Amazon's revenue is just as predictable. Oh, what? People are going to stop ordering from Amazon? Bullshit. Bullshit. Amazon, there's 7-to-1 packages with Amazon coming to my building when I go downstairs to the package room. I'm sorry, it's bullshit. Oh, what? Companies are going to leave AWS? Oh, what? People are going to get rid of Prime? Oh, what? People are not going to advertise here? Stop it. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Amazon is one of the craziest valuations I am seeing in the market. Crazy. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. How is this possible? Please tell me that you're trolling me. Please tell me you're trolling me. How is this possible? Amazon is a boomer stock. How is this possible? AWS, Trianium chips. How is this a boomer stock? I mean, can I get Jake Rizzo to agree with me for once? Jake Rizzo, is Amazon a boomer stock? I think Walmart's overvalued. Nobody's using those boomer chips. Anthropic's buying the shit out of them. They're being bought before they're even produced. This is crazy. I'm just reading the chat. I think you guys are trolling me at this point. I really do. I really do. I think you guys are trolling me. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, we'll see what happens. I mean, look. Oh, Jake Rizzo and I are along the same company. This is great. I love it. Thank you, Jake Rizzo. Thank you, Jake Rizzo. Don't fall for the Girl Scouts giving you a hard time. Very funny. I do buy a ridiculous amount of Girl Scout cookies, though. Word of the day? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what the word of the day is. Tanada? Tanner equals Canada? Maybe that's the word of the day. Maybe that's the word of the day. All right, everybody. I have been on for 3 hours and 22 minutes. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to stay on for 7 more minutes because you just hit 3 hours 23. I'm going to answer your questions. Fire questions off. Do me a favor. If you could like the stream and follow me, if you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it. Fire off your questions. I'll ask them for 7 minutes, and then we'll bombard Tanner. Jake Rizzo, you're not a boomer. Yes, if Amit's not making it, I will do Technical Tuesday with Jason. I will reach out to him now. Where is Jason? I will do Technical Tuesday today if Amit doesn't make it. I'll send you a link later. All right. The Steve and Steve Technical Tuesday may come true on a Tuesday. Last time I did Technical Tuesday with Jason was great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Livia. Thoughts on CEG? I'll look into it. One stock to buy and hold for 2 years. Amazon, Microsoft. Don't make me choose. I buy both. I am a substitute teacher. I try. You know what, Rachel? You're welcome for answering the bat signal. I mean, I'm not a fan of weed stocks, but I do have an indirect investment in Altria Group. I like QQQI. Big fan. Celery trades. I was texting. I'm sorry. No man's enemy. I'm sorry. Re-ask the question. I missed it. Worst candy fruit flavor. I'm not sure. What's for lunch? I don't know. I don't know. Do I hedge anything in my portfolio? No. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm long QDVO also. Pineapple on pizza? No, don't do that. Yogurt, a banana, and some like grain type thing. Neither, not looking into them. I think Visa and MasterCard are both good. Yes, and I'll even say trifecta, throw some Nutella on there. Oh, amazing. What are you sorry about? Don't say sorry, just ask the question. I like Starwood. Oh, this is an important question. Important question. Okay. Whew. Find cookies. I'm finding my cookies. How can we help? I don't know. All right. Can I just get a damn cookie list? There we go. All right, here we go. Cookie flavors, explore now. Very important question, ladies and gentlemen. Meet the cookies. Meet the cookies. My favorite, okay, is a tie between Samoas and Thin Mints. Some would say there's nothing better than frozen Thin Mints, but I am a big Samoa guy. In addition, big toffee-tastic guy. And the tree folds, oh my God. I love Girl Scout cookies, okay? Love them. I'm with you. Never had it, never will have it. Vanilla over chocolate, but you know what? Sometimes there's nothing better than that Carvel cake with the crunchies in between. Oh my God, to die for. I've never maxed out. I've never gone past 315, and I used to rep 315 when I was younger. Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, and Salesforce. I've never used it. I just think their numbers are fantastic. I need to look into ARE again. I did not look into Vive. I will. The fact that you have a 25 average on Amazon, I salute you. Great job. I'm calling BS. Wait, what is this? Nutella ice cream pints? Are you serious? Is this a thing? Don't screw with me. Oh my God. This is a real thing. Oh my God. Don't do this to me. Now I'm going to go to the supermarket. Nutella now ice cream? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. This is craziness. Oh my God. I need to try it. Thank you. Diana, this is why we're friends. Great minds think alike. Samoas. I'm with you. Ray, we do need more DD on these cookies. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. REITs are real estate investment trusts. So I will do a dedicated video on them. Very funny. Laura, you let me know. You let me know. I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, Nixon 5, I don't know. I'll look more into Visa and MasterCard. Ray, you know we're going to the store. You know it, buddy. You know it. Ray, you don't want me to do that, sir. Listen, I take my ice cream very seriously. There are specific flavors from companies, okay? Let me know in the chat if you want me to go down the ice cream rabbit hole real quick. Ice cream reviews. Listen, before I go, I will go down the list if you really want. Do I play golf? I do not play golf anymore. Did I play golf? Yes. Was I good? Some would say I was excellent. I don't need to take my time making a list. Was I a stick? Yes. Was I scratch? Pretty damn close. I grew up playing golf. Like I grew up working in the golf business. Let's just put it this way. When I used to play, okay, we would do in a typical foursome, skins, one tie, all tie, carryover, every man for himself. We would do a team Nassau, front back overall, auto press, 2 down, and wolf individual, okay, at the same time. You talk about action, you want to get in one of my games. Action out the wazoo. Every single little thing matters. It's not about how far you hit the ball, but I was a monster. Okay. Pitching wedge was 145 to 150 when I was actually playing. Let's put it this way. I would not be able to swing my clubs. I would have to reshaft them and probably get different clubs. There's no way I can even pick up my clubs anymore. I mean, my driver had an Oban Devotion 7 X-Flex shaft in it. My irons all had True Temper Tour Issue X100s. My 3-wood had an Oban Devotion 7 shaft in it, and my hybrid had a KBS Tour Issue in it. So, What the F does that mean? If you're a golfer, you know what I just said. It like Matt just said, that's serious golf. If you know golf, you know what I just said, man. I stopped playing golf because I did not have time to practice anymore, and I wasn't. It became a chore to break 80, and I was like, I'm done. The real reason why I stopped is because I was giving a shot on a par 5 to one of my buddies. And my buddy was like an 11 or 12 handicap at the time. And I don't like giving shots, period. I think it's bullshit. The reason I got really good is I used to lose money playing with club pros and I never asked for shots. And basically, I was giving shots on a par 5 and I banged a driver like 315, 320. My buddy hit his drive like 260, 265. He laid up and I went for the green with a hybrid. I think I had like 240, 230 in, 25 feet for eagle. My buddy hits a wedge to like 15 feet or so. And I told him to go first on the putt, even though I was away. And he made the damn putt. So he made a birdie for eagle. So now I got to drop a 25 footer to have a hole. And ever since then, I was like, fuck this. I'm never giving shots again. So anyway, enough of the golf talk. Do I play poker? I used to run a pretty good game. So yes, I don't play poker anymore. When I go to the casino, I do not play poker. I play craps, but I can hang in poker. I'd rather play cash games than tournaments. I hate tournaments. Hate them. Hate them. Hate them. Is Uber undervalued? I think so. When I used to run a game, this is 20 years ago. Okay. So the buy-in is not what you're thinking the buy-in is. But it was a good game. What do I do if I don't golf or play poker anymore? You're looking at what I'm doing. Stock research, writing articles, etc., etc. All right, everybody. I need to eat. I need to eat. I will likely, if Amit is not going to be on, I will round up Jason and I will get Technical Tuesday done. So, thank you all for being here. If you want to support me, like and subscribe. See everybody later today. Have a great afternoon. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Diana, I need to get them first, but I will enjoy them. June, thank you. Ray, thank you. Lena, enjoy work. Thank you, everybody. Chels, if you're still here, thank you. Go bombard Canada with He Sleeps. He sleeps, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great afternoon. I'll be back at you later.